Thrushmore. It's a quiet town in southern Ustalav on the banks of Lake Incarthen. Hardly a memorable thing about it, up until recently. The city's citadel fell silent, the guards all disappeared. Then of course there was that business at the asylum. The accountsmen showed back up. They're an odd bunch, enforcers and performers. Researchers, magical scholars. And a new man with them too. They were sent in there by the Count, though he's disappeared these days too. He abdicated his throne, left his manor atop the hill. Who knows what fate Thrushmore will face now? But I have a feeling these folk have a steady hand in it.
Last week, we found ourselves starting in the dining hall after a lot of fighting of fish. We opened a door, got on the floor, and got blasted by a winter wave, and everybody got frozen a lot.
Not everybody.
Except me.
You
Except me. We continued to fight more fish people, and the mirror winter, surprisingly, we killed her and didn't die. As we ventured around to the basement of the fortress, we found more slimes, got very confused and fought each other while I stood there, just kind of laughing and trying to fight these slimes. And then we got to everybody's favorite part, the live-action Monty Hall problem, which I will now get back into the statistics of.
It's an educational stream, everyone. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. I finally understand the Monty Hall problem.
It's a 50-50.
After last week's episode. And today, starting us off, behind door number 3, we have, well, in front of door number 3, rather, we've got 4 very weary contestants here on the stage today who have been through a lot within the walls of Fort Halicourse. We were briefly introduced to the situation, but not to the man himself.
I'm Marius, the ghoul dwarf ranger, who's
We're just going to keep adding tags to that.
yeah, more adjectives. Who's just happy that we're probably done with the fortress.
But you wanted to seize the castle.
Yeah,
so
I was
bad.
the one who wanted to seize it.
This was your idea in the first
Yeah,
place.
it was mine. I regret nothing.
Eventually, there's going to be someone somewhere that's watching through this that just joins in that's like, that does not understand. We're going to get further into the subversion.
Yeah.
We're going to gaslight some portion of our audience into thinking that Marius was the one that wanted to raid the castle in the first place.
Every time that it's
That's how
going
it's
wrong,
gonna
he's
go.
the leader.
I am MD, the full-blooded orc rogue who dropped his coat and is currently picking that up off the ground. Got so excited.
He's too pumped.
And I'm Trey Huglum, tall frontline spear boy in full plate who has racked up a pretty impressive kill count at this point of, I think, 32 last hits.
If this had an end of session KDA leaderboard, yeah, I think Trey would definitely be the one at the top, flaming the rest of his team over Xbox Live Party chat.
Yep.
Hey, I killed the boss.
That's true. You did kill the boss. And in the words of a great man, that still only counts as one.
Yep.
I'd have so many assists.
You have the support.
I
case.
She would have a lot of
I have
assists.
so many assists. My name is Sully, and I play Cammy, the itty-bitty gnomish witch, who is a fervent believer in Mr. Monty and his whole problem.
I'm AJ, or Squiddish, as many of you may know me, the game master for these insane adventures, arbiter of this and more, which is looking pretty good at the moment.
If we
After
all hit 0, what's our reward?
a lot of us.
The game ends. We go.
We all wake up.
We all leave, start families, start
Wake
new
up
lives,
in the asylum and everything is actually okay.
get mortgages, normal
This was
full-time
all
jobs.
a dream. This is the greatest cop out in all of storytelling.
I would never play Pathfinder with you.
None of you would ever trust me again if I hit if like we ripped it. It was all a
I'd
dream.
rather have
and you
dirt.
just
as
Oh my
GM.
gosh.
actually woke up in
What-
the asylum
see-
and you were just crazy.
Your
And this
treatment is
is-
finally complete.
I'm not
nice.
going to say I'd be a bad GM. I will definitely throw a bunch of curveballs because I think it's fun.
That's why I don't want to over the GM.
Someday, I can't even imagine the waste, like the not wasteland, but like the absolutely wacky. I mean, wasteland is in like my brain went to what is the Fallout New Vegas wacky wasteland thing. That's just the insane crap that would come out of Derp running a game. That's the predictability would certainly be at 0. You would have no idea what's going to happen at absolutely any given time.
There would not be a single base game stat block.
The man is inscrutable. But as we come
It'll
back
be
in,
like rock, paper, scissors.
All rock all the time.
Unknowable.
all rock all the time.
as we come back in today, to as Marius recapped the basement of Fort Halicourse, we have fought our way through the bastion of the town of Thrushmore, overrun by the undead, by a scourge of fishmen, and by a not negligible amount of slime, honestly.
Actually, an extremely negligible
They need
amount.
to do better with cleaning. That's usually a problem with cleaning. You're not cleaning in like the deep places where water likes to sit.
It happens if you don't replace your air filter often enough.
It's a problem, like especially like where
Replace
they
your
have
air
flowers.
filter every 3 months or you'll get black
You'll
ooze.
get slime.
You ever open the veggie drawer? in
They
the
are
fridge?
CR7, you will die.
Yeah, it's really serious.
think
People
of
don't
mine.
talk about it enough.
Think of mine. Next time you're in a grocery store, look underneath the full, like where they keep the flowers. There will be slime.
You started with this energy last week exactly until the party exploded. I just want to say 100% of sessions that start at this level have not gone well
Don't
for you.
Joke's
Stop
on you.
talking
I'm
like
at full
that,
health
man.
this time.
I'm not.
So you're saying we should not open the third
you gotta-
door? We should just leave.
We should not be fun. We're fun right now.
It's got to be wacky.
We're a
and
cool,
kooky.
chill hang
You
right now.
made your way down to the jail beneath Fort Halicourse. What Thrushmore really had for cells, the town has no prison proper. Though it has a grand asylum, it's not a huge bastion of crime or anything. It doesn't seem to regularly have need.
Yeah, because the 5 of us got put away.
Besides all the the disappearing people, it's a pretty safe town.
Recently, things haven't been great recently. It's going through a little bit of a slump.
It's gone downhill.
But you don't have to put someone in prison if they're disappeared. So, self-solving problem.
Did we disappear?
No, we asylumed.
Behind door number 3.
Yes.
The
I would like to
final
point out this is the door that Colby and I picked.
final cell down here in this jail. You would see a small chamber like the previous 2. A cot in the corner, a small stool, and a bucket left abandoned. But a figure in this one. Standing next to the bed, upright, in, well, most of what she's normally wearing, actually. Winter, standing here in the corner. Her hand immediately goes in a familiar action up to where her pendant would be and grasps at nothing, and she glances down for a second and just closes her hand and leaves it there anyway, looking out over the group of you with a very mixed expression of amazement and fear, quickly replaced by awe and then confusion, and then simply, how did you come to be here?
1 second. Is there? I look for a mirror in the cell.
Are you a witch? You have to tell us right now.
You've met her then, the mirror demon.
That's not a yes or a no.
Killed her.
Are her eye colors, eyes in the right
You
side?
look at her.
Eyes in the right place.
You look at her looking for something.
Picasso.
I mean, she looks as you remember her. Bright green eye, amber, almost yellow left. Exactly the winter that you would recognize before. Please, I know this creature, whatever she was. She and those... Here, you must have seen the fish, the lake people.
Yeah, they're all dead.
A little bit
Trey's
more than
killed a
seen.
whole lot of them. A bunch.
There were so many.
Now
Yeah.
so less.
The corpses, the puppeted bodies of the guard.
Gone.
They're
Oh, we killed those two.
They're gone.
alone?
Oh, there's 5 of us.
Well, there's, yeah.
Well, yeah, if you want the pile of them, we let them into a doorway,
I
cut them down.
I shouldn't doubt after everything that you did back at Briarstone Isle, but it's, again, still almost impossible to believe, but as she kind of closes her eyes and just like very quietly, almost to herself, mutters, "Not this year, not yet." And then opens her eyes again with a bit of a grim, almost smile. I was more certain I would die here than the asylum.
Oh,
The asylum was at least a mystery, but this was seemingly insurmountable. Well, you have my debt again.
what friends are for. You went missing, we came looking.
They killed accuser Omari. She's gone.
That would explain why she's missing. Fair enough.
Her and I can't know how many others were killed here and taken up to Iris Hill, apparently. I couldn't tell you for what. That mirror demon was strangely forthcoming with me, like she took a joy in taunting me here, telling me just enough to know that this was my doom. No reason to doubt her. And honestly, it's a truth I feel I've known for some time. This was all Colt's doing. For what purpose, I know not, but this too was them. What can we do?
Kill him.
Yeah. Break everything Mellison likes and wants.
There's only, 2, maybe 3 things summoned left.
They
Assuming
had
the mirror was one of them.
That's
There's a star vampire left somewhere. The little octopus thingy.
I know not of what you speak, but the
It's like a
cult's
space vampire.
allies are unknowable. They had enough force to take the whole of the guard of Thrushmore, trained, armed
And-
soldiers, not just to strike them down, but to raise them as undead, as servants, as puppets.
Yes.
Beyond that, they allied with this entire race of fish folk from the lake. Who knows how much more they have at their disposal? This is a fight unwinnable.
They had the forces.
The funny thing is, when you spread your forces out, it's easier to take them out piece by piece.
To be fair, we also just overcame all the forces in Fort Halicourse. I mean,
Which well, then maybe.
They summoned 7, 8 things. We've killed all but, I believe, 2.
We've killed the 4 things in the cathedral, the big thing at the cathedral, the octopus in the cathedral, the mirror demon here.
Is it just the star vampire left?
Yeah, I think it's the other octopus, the other star
Yeah,
vampire.
so of all the forces they have, most of it was here.
You've done an unbelievably effective job of keeping up with everything they've thrown at you, to be certain.
They spread it too thin.
I'm a petty man.
At this point, her adrenaline here seems to kind of slow, and she looks over towards Marius.
Yeah,
Who is
Again,
I'm here and I helped.
Marius really carried upstairs. If
He's
there was anybody
necessary.
who,
He's
if there's
actually-
anybody who pulled more than their weight to get down here to you, it would be Marius.
He worked himself to death.
Just saying.
It's not the first time that you've delivered me to safety, and If this is the lady's will, so be it. I won't claim to understand. But I'd be a fool to question her. Or you, at this point. If with accuser Omari gone, I have no purpose here. She brought me from my cloister to aid in her investigations into the Count, who, based on everything else we've seen, is all but certainly also dead. Malison and her cult have truly taken over. They controlled everything. If they had the pull of the guard, they took the fort, they're running the town. Whatever happened to the asylum, I wouldn't be surprised if that was their direct interference as well. For perhaps the first time in my life, feel like I'm at a loss of what to do. I've always had a purpose, or at least someone to deliver it to me. If not the mother of the cloister, then the accuser, and
Well, at this point, you've basically got two choices. Go back, leave here, or help us deal with what's left.
If things go according to my plan, this town's going to need a lot of help afterwards. Melison's going down one way or another. There's going to be a little bit of a leadership issue. You can at least find someone to fill the shoes. You're a better judge of character than we are.
you clearly have the Grey Lady's protection. Anything you deign to do, I dare imagine you'll succeed. I heard you enter this chamber. I of course knew not it was you at the time, but you haven't. And she sort of like shuffles to where she can look through the door and kind of point. There is another door in this chamber on the southern end. There's one more.
That door doesn't
that goes-
exist until this door was open.
Yeah, till somewhere else. The door that was not part of the Monty Hall problem previously.
So this room was the Monty Hall problem, and then something else.
That's obviously just different, though. That's clearly a separate thing.
No.
There's another different, unrelated door, stage left. Like it's
the
not
exit.
visible to the audience.
That's the emergency exit.
Yeah, it says
Let's
so right on the
lay
You
door.
fire
exit the
on
level,
door.
you know, so you don't have to go all the way back.
You got
The alarm will sound, emergency use only.
That's where the flagpole is, and then
Oh,
There's-
door over there. Don't open it. Oozes.
This door behind a lot of you, there's something behind it. I know not what, but they use that room for disposal of. I don't know. The fish folk certainly feared it, and the mirror demon uses a threat. If it's something else of the cults, it's potent, but I know not what rests back there. Its name is Climbs, whatever it is.
it has a name.
Kind of a cute name.
Oh.
Climbs
Go,
Pratt.
Introduce
Try-
ourselves then.
And I'll hold out a trident.
You at least want something to defend yourself with.
Without my symbol, I've no focus for my magic.
Thank you.
It's little skill with arms, but
It's better than nothing.
it certainly is.
We could also leave without opening this door.
I think I still actually have one of the Pharasman daggers from the asylum.
We do.
I just
We
pull out
totally
Okay, you like
the
focus
dagger that
on
used to have
something
the
else?
enchantments on it. And just kind of
And she just kind of, the trident just falls out of her hand. And she takes, that's one of from the asylum, right?
Yeah.
And she takes it and looks it over.
Because we handed it to her, and she was like, I don't need it, handed it back to us, so we just have had a Pharasman
yeah.
dagger.
Of course.
It's the one that had the enchantments on it. That one in the club.
Yes, I remember when you first found this back in a very different circumstance. Leopold's Dirk. He was one of my men-at-arms. One that the accuser had sent with me to the asylum just for safety.
Are you able to... I do lizard magic.
me-
I don't do focus magic. Can you just focus on that one instead?
I've taken the liberty of taking the magic out of it, but
Let me try. I have had little to do in this chamber but pray. So, let me focus. And she holds the dagger still in its sheath, just more interested in the insignia of Pharasma on its pommel than in the blade itself, and closes her eyes and holds up to her chest and just wordlessly moving her mouth mutters something. And you would feel a familiar wash of energy roll out across the group.
Marius, run.
Should I stand back?
Marius, run.
Oh, run!
Do you move away before this?
I'll take a step back.
You have a doorway. You can just you could easily just step around
You feel a
It's an
familiar
the
emanation.
side of the
sting
doorway.
of light and love.
It's that weird buzzing you get when
He
you
feels
walk.
he's like, oh, I've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
And just kind of steps to the side. The other three of you,
That's
You-
what's great about emanations. They don't go through things.
anyone who's still injured gets 10 hit points back.
I'm sure that's a great boon to your half health.
Ooh,
That's awesome.
that rolls.
Yes. I believe this will do. Thank you, MD. I'll hold it close. It's more use to me for its symbol than its blade.
Oh, you want a club to hit things with too? I have one of those.
I can imagine if needs come to it, I can wield a knife, but if needs come to it, we're certainly lost.
It'd be best for you to stay back.
I didn't intend to engage directly, or even to come with you. I know not how long I've been here. I've tried to keep time through the cadence of my prayer, but
I believe it's been 2 days.
it feels more or less my counting.
It's
I've-
been 2 days since you went missing.
Yeah.
Right?
I've not been brought succor in that time. I don't have much in me, but I have the vigor to continue. Keep you safe as I can. What little I can provide, I shall.
Well, let's open this door.
Do you need a moment? She still looks across the group of you. I imagine two of you still looking probably not great.
You look pretty good,
I
actually.
don't think we
Yeah,
need to rush
we're
into
fine.
this.
How does Cammy look?
Cammy got
I'm a
crit
little
by me.
over half.
I don't know
Just a little.
the situation of the fortress above, but if you're here,
It's empty.
it's
Except for maybe one fish guy
Yeah,
that Trey befriended.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And the one
we
that
didn't
ran.
find him.
There's one at the top.
And there's also one that ran.
you are a truly remarkable group of individuals.
Like, called it being thorough.
All of the former soldiers are in
I call
almost a
it
single pile.
providence. Let us take some time and prepare. Whatever is beyond that door, I speak of it as if it was powerful. Even that mirror demon did not want to be in the room with it. It may be uncontrollable. It may have no loyalties. I don't know. Whatever this climb Spret is, they feared it well enough.
Yeah, so if she wants to just pump a couple spells into
Into-
Cammy.
If you want her to use some magic, she can definitely use some magic.
Yeah, get
Because
Cammy.
I wouldn't confused crit Cammy for
Yeah,
like half of her
you got a
health.
little blappo. Yeah, you hit her
I got
pretty hard.
blapped. I got blapped
Yeah,
pretty
well, I'd
hard.
say blapped. Moderately to severely blapped is where I'd file that. Okay.
I'd
then
file myself flapped.
She will
blapped.
focus with the dagger.
Flapped.
I'll still
And any reservations about pooling magic for those in the asylum or those she has to protect in Thrushmore, well and truly gone at this point. Whatever you guys want, she has got.
I'm still like a little bit behind the doorway.
I'd like a cast of Miracle.
Have 20 health.
Oh, that's gonna just about do it. That's almost full for me.
That'll
Would you
do.
like one, sir?
Would you like one, sir?
Shots all around.
Just give me back up.
Have 24 health.
Cool. That's way overhealed.
Any chance that your magic is like super? Yeah, you seem kind of like holy or something. That it might I don't know, like ward you from like potential psychic threats. We could talk about this later. It may not be a good time, but I was just kind of wondering. It's
I'm sure such magic exists, but it's not far within the realm of my teachings. Most of what we learned back at the cloister were healing spells and cantrips. Those to treat minor ails and to assuage suffering. Those to deal with undead or evils, but not much of, I suppose, mental disciplines, really. The study of magic itself, I suppose, has an intrinsic similarity, but I feel there's more to this question. Has something happened?
not yet.
Kami seems to be at the center of a lot of bad intentions.
Well,
Good news, the spell on her brain didn't work.
Yeah,
If
no,
you
that
were wondering,
that was fine.
yeah, that didn't do anything. That fizzled and popped.
well, that's good news then.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
just
a-
they're just gonna do it again.
They're just
All the more reason for them to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Quickly, if possible. But first, we finish. I can't include myself in this. Finish what business we can here. The more of the cult's resources you can peel away, the less they'll have to call upon back in August. They've clearly proven distance is no issue. They can traverse the town as easily as if all rooms were side by side,
it's through
all
the
walls adjacent.
It's through the chalk drawings that have been appearing over town. We ran into one of the members of the cult, and they came out of the drawings, and then they went back into the drawings.
And that, too, is connected back to the same center. They truly do feel like they're responsible for near everything that's happened in Thrushmore in recent weeks. Every last bit of it. Wouldn't be surprised if they were the cause for your missing memories.
Yeah, they act like it's Kami's fault.
No, yeah.
There's a lot to unpack here. I think we should take care of the guy in the other room.
Line up. Let's deal
So-
with it.
Are there any like the little slots in the prison doors, or is they just solid?
All the jail doors would they wouldn't be your like bar doors. They are solid and they're even just sturdy wooden doors. They're not even metal. But they would all have something akin to like a mail flap near the bottom that you could push something in or out of the room with. It would be covered with a little bit of metal that just kind of literally flaps in there.
I have a question for you, actually involving his hunt prey. Since he knows there's something on the other side of the room, can he hunt it?
No, because he doesn't have any idea what it is.
Okay.
And so,
Just wondering.
Winter, have you seen or heard any sort of preparations, or have the guards done anything usually before opening this door?
I haven't been able to see much of anything.
You haven't heard anything besides just opening the door.
Heard once someone being dragged in there, and I don't know if they were conscious or not. They didn't sound like they were resisting much, but they don't open it often, just speak of it. Even when I was first brought in here, there were one of those fish folk in this chamber guarding it, and they were all near the farthest corner of this room away from it. They took no chances.
Can I bust out one of those flaps and he could use it like an arrow slot or a slit?
I mean, it's pretty low to the ground.
Oh, never
It'd be,
mind then.
and it's not particularly large. It'd be pretty difficult to use to shoot through effectively.
Can we check the door for like traps?
Yeah, that's what do you got? What
yeah.
are you guys doing before we
Yeah.
open the door? Because
I'm
absolutely that's what searching is.
Since we know there's something in there, I'm going to do the same thing from last week and just ready to use a reaction.
Okay, so you'll have that up even if you don't go first. You your spirit are ready. Things are happening.
Can I go ahead and stoke him before the fight
Absolutely, yeah.
starts?
No, maintaining
Take it.
you can sustain a spell as a you can chain cast a spell as an exploration activity, and now that Witch does not have the cooldown on hexes anymore, you can just you don't even have to sustain it, so you'll still have the full minute or whatever you want to keep it for. You can just literally recast it.
I don't have to sustain it.
You can just cast it over
You
and
just
over.
cast it
because
every
there's no
turn.
cooldown.
Yeah,
Instead
because
of
like you can only
sustaining
sustain it for a minute or whatever. You can just keep recasting it. 'cause
so that
there's
when a
nothing
fight
else.
Oh, I
starts, it
see.
So you
has
have the
minute.
full minute of
I
sustain
thought for
whenever
a second,
something
like
starts
sustain,
happening.
like that I didn't have to keep saying you're
No,
stoked
it
again.
is permanent now.
And I was
No.
like, whoa. I was about
So-
to rock my world.
Keeping a spell up is an exploration activity. Yes, you can do that.
okay. Excellent.
This door that we're about to go through, does it swing towards us or away from us?
It would swing in towards you.
Towards us.
And it would be a much lighter. It is actually still a fairly heavy door, but a lighter door than the jail cell door, similar to the one that led into this chamber in the first place.
So while we're getting prepared, like before we go in, I want to attempt to like crack it a little bit to get an idea of what we're going up against. If the room's lit, I get an idea because we have people who can't see in the dark.
Okay.
So
are you?
like
that
after everyone else is ready to go, I want to.
But what are you doing for like you searching? I guess sounds
searching.
like
Yeah, it'd be
'cause you're
searching.
like looking for something.
Yeah.
How about you?
So I wanted to check the door for traps.
They're just searching.
And, okay, searching.
Yeah,
but
so
also,
two searchers.
before we did anything, I'm hoping this isn't a bad idea. I wanted to just knock on the door and see if we hear anything.
Are you asking or are
it's
you just doing? Are you
sentient.
asking the party or
Does
are you
anybody
doing?
object to me opening or knocking on the door?
100%.
Yeah.
That's an objection, or
That's
you're okay
100%
with it?
an objection.
If we're gonna have someone knock on the door, let it be one of us.
Okay.
You think he'll bust it down or something?
Probably. We don't know. We
don't
don't know
know.
who he is.
What if he? Okay. What if he answers?
What are you gonna say? What is your plan on
I don't
that?
know. He's got a name.
Mostly just
This-
wanted to hear if we hear anything, and I think technically I could hunt prey if I heard it.
That's true. Yeah, if you heard that you could hunt prey off if they.
But I mostly
Hold
just
up.
wanted to see if we heard anything, so we could get, if it's a giant roar or something, then
I'm gonna.
we might at least have
I'm
some
gonna
idea.
try to crack the door and look inside first.
As you reach to the handle of the door here, you can see that also, again, like the door leading into this chamber, it's got a big heavy lock on it. You've got a ring of keys, easily solve the problem.
It'd
But
be funny if we all prepped and it was just locked. Nobody checked. Like, we just
that's all, folks.
It's just Greg.
That does mean, though, as you heard the door coming in this chamber, these are pretty hefty iron locks. It's not going to open particularly quietly. It's got a pretty fat key that goes in, and it's a pretty resounding metal click that's going to ring out. This is not a door that you're going to be able to open silently.
Alright then. You wanna knock?
I thought you just
I'm
said it should be one of
rethinking
you
the
two.
knocking idea,
Yeah,
actually.
Just go.
Go.
Just
Okay.
go. We've already cracked it.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
3,
2,
2, 1,
initiative.
kick.
Yeah,
Click.
toss the
And
flashbang.
you turn the key and throw the door open, revealing behind it an empty room.
It's this vampire. Yeah, it's this vampire again.
It's a fairly sizable empty room. The back wall maybe 15 feet back, and it looks like it's almost 30 feet across. Big, heavy motes of dust hanging in the air, disturbed by the door opening, all throughout a pretty stale chamber of crates and barrels stacked up around the outsides. It looks like it's a storage room, and it's been abandoned and clearly unused much longer than all of the bad things that have been happening in Thrushmore. This was something that fell out of use way before the modern problems of the town. Even the plaster across the wall has begun to sort of crack and peel a bit in various places.
But
Before we step in, MD's gonna mumble something, and some of his tattoos are gonna light up almost in the shape of like eyes. I'm gonna cast See the Unseen.
Okay.
The second level, my second level spell that I have.
I'm assuming it largely does what it says in the 10, but what's it do?
I had to look it up because I forgot they changed it because it was See Invisibility.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It got remastered.
Yeah.
Okay, it was basically See Invisibility.
It's See
Okay, fair enough.
Invisibility, yeah.
Putting that up, as you start to glow and you look around the room, you still don't really see anything. The two of you that are searching, give me perception checks.
I look up.
Not a very high ceiling. It's kind of just like a basement cellar
Fantastic.
storage room.
Is there any blood?
There would certainly be what looks like mostly ancient blood. It's well dried. Scattered around.
When I entered the room, I look down instinctively, and then I remember I should probably look up. I'm going to use my hero point to reroll this.
I guess ancient's the wrong word, but it's been here long enough to be like just dried, dark state. It could be a
It's
day
an
old.
Does it
improvement.
look like
It is.
maybe
It's
an
double.
octopus tried to lick it?
Did you go from a 2 to a 4?
Yeah, little tongue marks.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
I got
Arcadis for that hero point, actually.
a dirty 20.
It's Arcadis.
Hog.
And
15. 20 to 15.
I have something I want to do before we step in. So
Yeah, this is also before you step in.
Okay.
This is immediately looking through the doorway. You would see that some of the barrels and little shelves, they're not all up against the wall. They're just kind of around. There's not a lot down here, but it's a bit haphazard. There's not enough to really obstruct you moving about the room at all. But you do see a shoe sticking out in the corner, just kind of straight back from you. That the angle it's sitting at definitely is still attached to a foot, out of sight, behind a smaller action.
I kind of want to go into the other room and grab a piece of wood again and just kind of toss it in.
Go back to the firewood storage, quickly scamper over, come back in while everyone's looking, and just throw a piece of firewood into the room. And it kind of clatters a little bit of an echo through the largely empty chamber. But nothing immediately happens.
Nothing on that foot moves either.
I'm just gonna walk into the room and deal with the consequences of my own actions.
pretty much.
Climbs. Was that his name?
Yeah.
Climbs.
Yeah, boy.
Trey
Whispering.
walks into the room.
Everybody quietly, but climbs.
Everyone tries to call their dog in the doorway here. Gigi. And as you walk in, you don't immediately hear any response or see much of anything.
Does it hurt?
No.
Oh.
The
It's a
first
room.
voice you hear behind you is Winter. I'd stay alert. It must be something, unless it didn't seem idle threats.
That mirror lady was very good at lying. But she did half the time.
I'll walk into the middle of the room,
I'm going to be
Sort of
right behind
walk
them.
around looking.
just
MD
kind of like
coming in
looking
with you.
around.
Two of you just looking for something in there. You two kind of out the door.
I don't want to
still.
go in.
Yeah, I'm
Cammy,
gonna
stay
remain
on
It's an
that
empty,
side.
spooky room. I'm not going in there.
Yeah, Cammy, stay in the hall.
I'm like a chicken nugget to a big old monster. I can't.
We die, close the door, and run.
Finally,
I'm bite-sized.
Give the keys to
you
Cammy.
hear something. A voice just sort of emanate through the room. More weak men!
Nope, there it is. I'm gonna work. He's a hot dog.
And you see something start to come out of the western wall, like a figure just stepping through. It looks to be a man, a fairly tall one at that, almost up a little taller than Trey, actually, almost up to MD's height, but he looks human. Clad in what would be fairly simple clothing with a big sash drawn across it, almost like a bandolier, but just a wide piece of cloth with no apparent purpose. As he comes through, just phasing through this wall, he doesn't look at you. He looks down in front of him where his feet fall completely silently, step by step, on the ground. First, he sends his worthless mayor down, and now more of his lackeys. He couldn't handle me himself in life, and he can't leave me peace in death. I am Climb's Pratt. I am stronger. And he takes, with his hands up, immediately, baring his teeth like an animal, takes a step forward towards the two of you, just enraged by, you have no concept of what. But I am going to need you to roll initiative.
We're doing it. We're doing it on this side.
I already got you stoked.
I learned how to roll these dice, and I've been
I
failing to
don't
roll
need
these
my
dice the way I
crazy
learned how to roll.
rules right now.
I don't think you can learn how to roll.
No, they like to be. No, that's
I
drop.
don't think that's how that works.
Hey, they like to be like that. As I say, let's roll 3. He rolled 20.
I was gonna start with him.
Oh.
37.
Okay.
So, what do you got, Marius?
I got close with a 15.
A little under half. MD.
I'm like right between them with a 16.
To be fair, doesn't super matter if you're gonna roll a 50. If you're gonna roll like a 30, you might as well roll a 15. Trey.
20.
Kidding me?
I'm just gonna squeeze right in there with an 18.
Oh my god. Okay.
We were not expecting a ghost.
This is a 17-point gap in the initiative.
Hey, good news is it doesn't matter if you critically
He should
succeed.
get
'cause
multiple turns
He
before
should-
we.
I think he just goes twice, is what I think.
we're caught in a surprise.
Oh my
round.
gosh. So you came into the room. We've got Marius and Cammy outside, and he steps in right through this western wall and looks over and sees MD as he looks up, hands still up. You've seen, at this point, a lot of strange things throughout your, I guess, entire memory of your life, which is a couple of weeks.
A week.
It looks very clearly like it's a ghost or a specter of some kind. I mean, obviously, he walked straight through the wall. He's not making any sound as he moves. But after this, he reaches out, not with a punch, but just with a hand to grab at you, and it is solid.
Oh.
You can see through him. You can see the wall and the barrels behind him. He's clearly not entirely corporeal, but you feel this hand. What is your fortitude DC, sir?
21.
He's about to yoink you.
Yeah, 25.
Ooh.
So this grabs a hold of you. And he has to look a little bit up to get eye level with you, but not much. And as soon as he gets a grip of your shoulder, you immediately see him turn and pivot, put all of his weight into this, and go to just throw you.
Hey, you know what that
Across the
is?
room.
You know what that is?
An attack.
Is that not a ranged attack, or is he literally just like shoving him?
He's
I thought
shoving
it was.
him.
You said to throw, and I'm like, that's.
I
a
mean,
ranged attack.
it's a big, powerful throw, but he is just, it's a shove.
Okay.
It's gonna feel like getting thrown. You're gonna feel your feet almost leave the ground as you see MD go tumbling across the north side of the room, almost all the way over into the corner, desperately kind of scrambling to stay afoot, to not get thrown down to the ground. I'm a villain point that one. My last one from Link 1429. I've been holding on to it for a hot minute. I didn't want to use it
Rude.
last week because it felt rude. So
Is rude.
okay, 28 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits.
What you mean to hit the wall with him?
Yeah.
No. He takes MD, throws him across the room. You see him stumble across, and in that same motion, climbs, disappears. His body shimmering and fading out into just a couple of wisps of essence, reforming at the far end of the room with his arm out, and just slams MD with his clothesline as he comes in.
That's really cool, dude. I'm so sorry.
Super cool. What are you
Dude,
talking about?
You just got absolutely wrecked, but it was so cool.
It's so good. I love this move.
Oh,
I feel like I just got like in a wrestling match in WWE. Like, what is happening right now?
Wrestling match.
that's
You
so
are going to
sick.
take
I'm so
26.
I'm so sorry.
26 points of damage, and you are knocked to the ground.
I'm so
As
sorry.
he throws you, teleports in front of you, and freaking clotheslines you at the other end of the room.
I want to fight him barehanded.
Just
I really
looking at
do.
Trey.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but that was so cool.
It's probably my favorite
So-
monster abilities in second edition.
Sorry
it's
about
so
your
cool.
face, dude, but man.
So instead of just trying to focus in like I normally do, I'm going to try to reach into myself and call out those voices as I try to stand up. And that is a 18. So I just can't seem to find them.
You're too distracted by how freaking cool that was.
That was so
But I have a fancy ring that I get to test the effects of now.
That's fair.
Because I was given the ivory opal ring, and we haven't identified it fully, but it says the ring reverberates with spirits, allowing weapons you wield to strike them more effectively. So I'm about to see what that ring can actually do.
Fair enough. You focus down the ring, and as you do, you feel a strange, almost tingling in your finger underneath it. It's not painful, but it's definitely notable. And you focus and you take a swing.
It's like Burt's Bees. When you live through the
And I'll just strike out for a 21.
21 will not hit.
Was it an action to focus on the ring as well?
You would be if you use an action to focus on your thing. Oh no, it's happens. I was like, I don't remember. I wrote that down. I got so many items in my pile over here. Then no, if I didn't write an action, then we'll 21, you go to swing, 8 ducks over the side, stabbed by. Also, before you swing again, we got a suggestion. I didn't have my chat redeem. If you do a Rage of the Elements reading stream, will not everyone in town also hero point? From saying Fox 10, take one.
I get the feeling that it's due for a reckless charge. I'm immediately spending it to reroll that.
Well, let's see. I mean, I will immediately put on the. I'll just put it back on the top of the stack. Well, yeah, show because you might want to keep it. You might want to keep it.
I don't know.
This might be like Class Fight or a banger. He's thinking. He's pondering. It's decent. He doesn't know if he wants to spend it on a reroll. Yeah, this is the most thought I've seen him put into an action.
Hold it.
Okay.
And I'll just strike out again. First strike going up and over the shoulder. Second one coming down and going for a leg. And 2 better.
23 is not going to catch.
Oh, no, that's...
Oh, before the multiple attack
Yeah.
penalty. Definitely not going to catch.
I'm trying to hit a ghost. I don't know what I'm doing.
Wait, does he look particularly corporeal?
Not really.
Okay,
But
he
you-
did
you
like
could
touched
make
him.
You could use an action to make a knowledge check and see if you can figure something out about him.
I'm kind of thinking about. First, I'll sustain.
It would be a religion for him.
I'm not bad at that.
We do be
We're not the worst.
pretty good at that.
Pretty good at that. Cammy kind of sitting in the corner, just sort of like quietly confusedly pumping up.
just like
being like, yeah, get him. What? We don't have any business in there, tell you. I'm gonna make a religion check.
I do.
Oh, yes. Plus 11.
Plus 11, you say?
Yes.
Pretty good at
Not
those.
that bad. Not that bad.
It definitely does not look particularly corporeal to you, but it did just clearly grab and throw MD.
Yeah.
Which
See, and that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you, and you aren't sure.
I got nowhere. That gave me okay. You know what? Then I'm just gonna go with what I do know. Then I'm just going to double up on Trey, and kind of focusing in on Trey versus this little ghost. And in my head, I'm imagining them fighting and pummeling, like playing with little action figures. This is Needle of Vengeance between the two.
Okay.
So
he
should
gets-
he make a hostile action?
All right, he
towards
doesn't get a
Trey?
save, it just happens.
Oh no, there is a save. Sorry, it's a basic will save.
That was a 47, sir.
It's not a 47. It's a 32.
Okay.
You tried.
Anyways,
Weak men rely on fickle magics to fight for them. Weak men and small children learned in witchcraft.
he's talking about me.
MD.
MD's eyes just light up for a moment. I'm gonna put away. I'm gonna use the new cool stowing action. Stow away stow away the razor that I just had in my hand the entire time, and pull out the club. This is a good undead bonking club.
It's proven itself.
It's proven itself. I'm gonna stand up and just look him and just give him one big, strong overhead thwap with this club. Roll 11 on the die. That is plus 15, so 26. He's flat-footed if he's possible.
That'll hit him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't bother moving,
And
because
he
gang up's really nice.
Can in fact be flat-footed.
Can in fact be flat-footed. I'm gonna take these die. I'm just over here poaching dice at this point.
We're getting into the rogue zone now, where
Yeah.
you're like, I need everybody's D6s.
6, 10, 16. Oh my god. 22, 25.
Solid.
I rolled 3 6s. and
You do this
3.
big overhead swing as he's looking at a Cammy, and he turns back towards you as you bring the club down, and it passes straight through him, slamming into the ground with all the force that you put behind it. As he just looks down and laughs. Is that all?
Weak men hide behind whatever the hell this is.
And you definitely, you feel a little bit of a pull. The magic that you have in this club from the runes allows it to do something, but he's, incorporeal. So definitely a good bit resistant to that strike. Marius.
All right, I'm gonna hump prey on him, and then I'm gonna call out. Who is this he that you spoke of? Who hasn't been leaving you alone?
Same that sent you! Don't try to act as dumb as you look!
That's not that.
I wasn't sent here by anybody. We were here to get somebody out of here.
Winter wave.
She's just like,
Winter
Yeah, she's
goes.
back there.
this isn't what I expected to find!
She's with us. She's ours.
That's about as much back and forth as you can get a turn there, I think.
Thank you.
Well, I'll give him a twin strike just to see how fast the arrows can go through him.
With that twin strike.
That's probably not gonna hit. That's a 5 on the die for a 20.
20 is not, in fact, going to hit. No.
Let's go again. Okay. 14 for 12, 26.
26 will hit.
Okay, let's have a little arrow. For
As a treat.
11.
11. Ooh. That doesn't do 0, but it's very close. As that arrow shoots through him and clatters off the back wall, just only technically making a difference. You have 1 action left.
I hate undead.
You hate incorporeal.
No, MD just says I hate undead,
That's
like
fair.
out loud. It's like, I haven't met a single undead I actually like.
Same.
So the
Oh. Okay.
so the
Marius
Oh.
just turns around like,
Marius knows.
hello. So my attempt to talk with him didn't count as an action.
no, you can just do that.
Okay.
If you want to spend an action to
I
talk
want to.
more
I'll
with him,
try
you
one
can.
more to say like we weren't sent here by anybody. If you want to be left alone in death, we can just leave.
I've been down here for longer than you've been alive, lad, and none who stepped to challenge me have survived.
I'm not trying to challenge you. We just opened the door.
He's gonna look towards MD and look you up and down and turn and look over towards Trey. You're here.
Why?
He's putting hands on you.
I don't
I
know.
mean, to be fair, I haven't done anything to him yet. He thinks I'm ineffective.
I swear. I'll
Yes,
leave.
that's a crit.
Oh, come on, dude.
I'm going home.
39 to hit.
I haven't figured out how to hit him yet.
He has damage.
What if I told you that just hit?
Climb is the champ.
I just put down
I
my
want his
healing
belt.
cards because we got filled back
It's a
up.
crit.
I got
That
picked.
hurts.
I was pretty sure.
I have 36 AC.
I was pretty
I-
sure. Okay.
I have 36.
Oh, sorry. 36 hit points. Did you roll max?
Dude.
No.
Very close.
It's gonna be 58 points of damage.
down.
What? And he just reaches out with both hands, and one he just literally goes up as you're swinging, grabs the side of your head as you're down. The other one balls up in a fist, and he just punches you in the throat while you're still bent over. And you see it physically lift MD up off the ground, and he pulls back, and MD's body is just hanging out of his hand, and he just drops them on the ground. Need a stress check from the rest of you.
We just. Oh man.
13.
How to go from max
20.
11.
Do I feel better?
You guys are getting used to this.
How to go from max to 0 in 2 attacks.
Easy's gonna come back and we're just gonna all be dead.
I don't belong in that room. I can't.
I don't belong in this room.
He's gonna turn over towards Trey, take a step up towards you, and then just big open hand reach out with almost half a chop, half a slap your direction. Second attack, 29.
Just a hit.
Just a regular hit. $22 points of negative and bludgeoning damage as that hits into your shoulder and you feel this like racking pain, almost a numbness drop through the arm wielding the spear. You quickly go to tighten your grip on it, but it takes your focus for a second as he hits and then grabs onto you, and you grabbed as well. Trey.
Well, you know what's great about being grabbed? We're both flat-footed to each other.
Just hanging out.
Aw,
That's first
buds.
edition.
I know.
If only.
Oh, I've been conned. I just believe anything
in one,
you tell me.
in one, if you were grabbing someone, you were also flat-footed.
Yeah, so
Not-
grabbing rogues in first edition was a very
You grab
bad
a rogue and then just start stabbing.
Nah, he grabs onto me and I'm just saying back towards the door
MD's down. Get him back up.
and choke up on it and start just doing the first edition rogue thing. 18 on the die for a 36.
That's a crit.
Does the ring matter for my damage? We'll see.
You sweep this in again. You still feel this continuous tingling of the ring, and at point blank range, it's impossible not to shoot the pike of this straight through his chest. It'd be impossible not to notice the full effect of the ring. So go ahead and unfold that the rest of the way.
Oh. You blow up.
I just died.
That's why it's impossible to
Well,
not notice.
You're now the ghost.
Now
That was what I expected.
you can go ahead
You
and
just gotta let. You just.
you can just unfold that once to the warn effect.
Warn.
The identify on that was a critical failure.
Just where?
Yeah,
Right.
just
Yeah,
where, just the
just you
passive
feel like you're
thing. You
being
still
watched.
feel that tingling,
Yeah.
but you only know the effects of just wearing it. I like my little critical failure
Crit
cards.
fail. I'll just pass that to put it off to the side for now. All right, so I feel like I'm being
It's
watched while
gone.
wearing the ring. So
And you know you do feel it tingling right now, so you get a
Yeah.
little more than that.
okay, so that's a crit. So 3, 6, 10, 13, 26 damage.
Ooh, solid. All right.
Okay.
I rolled 3.
I feel a little better.
And does my spear hit him or just pass through him like everything
Definitely
else?
still just passing through. But you're seeing, again, with the runes in your spear, you can see his form waver
Yeah.
a little bit.
Well, that
as it
matters for
pulls
what my
in the
next
enemies.
action was going to be.
Okay.
Because if the spear looked like it hit him, I was going to try and use knockdown.
No, it's just passing right through. And even if you try to grab back at him, you're catching absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
He can grab you, but if you try to grab him, it's just missed.
I'll just grab his hand that's grabbing me.
You would
just-
literally reach through his hand and
Yeah.
hit yourself.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
I'll just do 3 strikes then. So strike numero dos at a plus
Nice and low.
13. That is a nat 1, which it is just worth it for me to spend the card I just got as a reroll. So
Thank
I will
you,
just
saying five.
yeah, I'll just go on ahead and spin that.
Pop it.
Reroll this 1.
Get stabbing.
2 and 8, so 21 total. I already know that
Yeah,
misses.
not gonna get in there.
And then third swing.
Grab fighter's got a real easy turn.
Yes.
Stabby, stabby, stabby.
Jeez.
Oh, that'll be a 2 on the die. No, because if I'm grabbing, not I have to be grabbing him, so that wouldn't matter.
Dang.
So just 1 hit.
We have 2 more hero points, I see.
Oh.
1. At work, again, but my favorite player needs this. Scott.
Yeah.
He's got a favorite. And from Marie Memento, has Trey tried killing his sanity yet?
Well,
So I didn't see
actually,
this.
to be fair,
Usually I have the chat open on my phone so I can just see that. We had a little bit of a problem with the display on the redemptions. We got it now. We were good. We got them all now.
magical reverberation. Such power comes at a mighty cost. So I'm just gonna.
It's a reroll for later.
This isn't
Yeah,
helping this,
that's
right?
a reroll for
It's a
later.
rending swipe. There's so much blood.
No, there
It's
isn't.
my blood.
You don't have any blood. He throat punched you.
I'm coughing up blood.
That's fair. Cammy, before you start, you feel more than see Winter push past you, up into the side of the door frame and close her eyes. Zona ma'am, and make a gesture. An MD would heal for 10.
That's conscious.
I got a new turn.
We take this cool little one. We would have wounded the dying on me.
Yeah, as Winter's kind of coming up, still kind of like hugging on the corner of the door and peeking in, kind of. Oh, that's MD's blood.
Although we've established you're a bloodhound now. That still be on the inside. You smelled a lot of it recently.
Yeah, I'm well acquainted. It's got like a hint of cinnamon.
Because he's a
Spicy.
spicy boy.
Yeah.
Spice and everything nice.
Well, I was gonna use my turn to get him up, so I'm going to.
Needle of Vengeance 3 times.
You can't resist
One
them all.
of these times. Honestly, I'll sustain you first. And I'll just kind of be like, oh, thank you. And I can focus. And I'm going to try and Needle of Vengeance again. This time when I imagine them fighting each other, I have Trey jumping up and goes, rah!
24.
Okay.
You're getting closer.
Well,
It was closer.
It works now.
It does work now.
Yeah, I
it's
assume
going
a
to
regular
be
success.
at half damage. So, but it's happening.
And that's still him and MD?
That's going to be him and Trey,
Him and Trey,
rather.
okay.
I'm doubling up. So yeah, should he take a hostile action against Trey, half of that would be, it's normally 6, so 3 over time. Oh, it worked
Okay.
the first time. Now I got
And
another.
it's mental damage.
Now I got another move. It's fantastic.
And the reason I say that is because it's actually kind of hard for players to get mental damage.
Oh,
Days.
really?
Days.
Yeah, but you
Not
have to
that
have
hard. Anyway, go on,
days.
actually.
Okay.
You have to be a specific
That's
class.
kind of having her own little casual time. She's really gonna kind of like hunker down and sort of peeking over at him. I'd like to try and make another knowledge check just to try and determine if there's an obvious way to hit him.
Okay. So, looking... Now you've seen a little bit. You're kind of watching him and a bit dumbfounded. Looking at Trey's spear sweeping through, kind of defensively trying to grab back at him, like instinctively trying to use his grapple to his
Trying to.
advantage, and you can't. The creature is clearly fully incorporeal. Minus one little thing. You notice as Trey's stabbing through him, the raising spear is just pulling at the essence of the spirit a little bit. That's just the magic of the spear against a ghost. But it looked like it caught a little on the sash that he's wearing, as if it actually physically moved a bit. There is a part of him that does not look like it's fully incorporeal.
Get his sash! It's the sash! It's magic!
Marius.
Okay. That changes what I was gonna do.
Hunt prey sash.
I don't think that's a creature.
Most
It's
dangerous
actually-
of
The
prey.
sash is not its own
Alright.
creature.
Could be a mimic. You never know.
Could be a mimic.
I'm
Better
just-
let him do it just in case.
I'll do my hunter's aim to get a +2 bonus on the attack, focusing on the sash.
Okay.
.22.
22 is shoot. Yeah, 22 is not going to hit the arrow with him so close in grappling with Trey here. It's hard to get a bead on anything without hitting Trey specifically, much less this bandolier. He's got pretty close to his body.
That was a what do you call it? Full action?
It was just two
action
actions.
things.
So you got one left.
So, I guess I'll do a flurry. I'll give him
Two more shots.
Two more.
Little treat.
Worse. And
It's not a news. You got to roll above an 11.
no, nothing. Nothing
He's
happens.
shooting. He ain't hitting, but he's shooting. MD.
I didn't hear no bell. I stand up, crack my neck a little bit. Not in a good position, but we're in a position.
If you were wise, you would have stayed down.
I'm not wise. It's gonna be 2 attacks. Pick leading with the pick, following with the club. The pick is aiming for the sash to try to just hook it. Pick first. 10 on the die, so it's a total of a 25.
25 will.
Flat-footed.
Yeah, we'll hit.
So I need your dice.
And he is flat-footed.
Yep, you got the gang up going.
6, 10, 15, 16, 22.
22. All right, you know it's less than that, but it's some. You
Yeah.
guys probably got a pretty solid idea of the amount of damage that you're doing, I think, at this point.
Not enough. And then the club. 11. Doing quick math. That's not actually going to hit. I know that's not going to hit. So I'm going to use this hero point from Scott. Scott! MD's really focusing. I'm really focusing on this attack. Trying to make it as strong as possible. With 18 on the die.
Ooh! Focus indeed.
28 against his flat foot.
Absolutely going to hit.
Yeah. As this
Just misses.
Almost had him.
all his strength. 4, 8, 12, 17, 20 total. I'm doing damage, guys.
You are doing damage. You're starting to build it up. But these 2 swings, I mean, the sash is around his body. It's literally impossible. The same with when you swung the club in the first place. It's impossible if we just swing a weapon through his form without hitting it. It's a full-bodied sash. Your weapon is just passing through it. With what Cammy called out, you can see that while the rest of him is just kind of his essence being drawn out a little bit, your strikes are causing the sash to like flutter a little. Like, there is a small amount of a physical reaction there, but there's not doing anything to it.
Right. I don't like fighting you. That's my whole turn.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Just hit him for a little bit.
He turns back to Trey, who's still
I
got
wish
a hand on, still got a hold of you as you're just slamming this spear into him. And you're the first worthy foe I faced! And he shifts his grip up onto the top of your shoulder, and with his other hand reaches for your free arm, going to like literally try to twist it and pin it back behind you. Like pushing you back into a crate behind you and like folding you up. This is going to be
24 is what you're looking
against your fortitude DC. I'll use my other villain point on that because I've had this forever.
Hey, I'll
Hermagistus.
take it.
You can take that. I'm out of him. This guy's cool and wants to do cool stuff.
for. Yeah, I have a pretty
They're
good fort.
24.
Oh, that's exact.
We're in there.
We're in there.
With a
Yeah.
24, it takes him a moment. It's definitely more than one action. It's a regular success. You are enfeebled 1.
Ew.
He is pretty sick.
Yeah.
And you take 23 points of negative damage as you just feel this pressure. He's got you like partially pinned back and folded up against this crate here. And this enfeebled is definitely a result of your arm being like wrenched back near
Ugh.
out of its socket here as he just holds you down and pushes. And with you pinned back and kind of locked up in this, the upper hand he has, he's just going to do a quick little elbow strike down.
He'll take 3 damage for the
He's
first
gonna take
mean action.
3 damage.
For the first mean action. And then for the second mean
It's
action.
offensive.
Yeah, it's not. It's
It's certainly
yeah,
not
I was
loving.
I would say definitely trigger it. Yeah, it's
it's
not
hostile.
It's not legally an attack, but I will definitely
It
say it
just
would
says
trigger
a hostile
it for sure.
action.
Oh, hostile! It's absolutely hostile.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
fair
not
enough.
loving in
He's
any
not hugging
manner.
him. It's rude.
I wouldn't want him to do it to me.
Ah.
Not giving Trey little kisses.
Never should the GM be out of points.
No.
From Hypervol, the villain point comes right back.
Thanks, Hyperball.
I'll spend him on this guy. This guy's got a really cool moveset, and he makes me happy. Thank you, Hypervolt.
MD
I'll put that
dies.
back on.
At least somebody's had.
But that is not an attack, so he uses full attack bonus on this, which is a nat 1. So he's kind of focused on... He's really focused on just trying to pin you back, and he doesn't have a lot of room. He doesn't have a lot of room to put some kind of force into this.
It'll be
Trey.
6 damage total for the
Okay.
full turn. If it's 2 different
yeah, you
hostile
do
actions.
feel this magic triggering in him.
He just hears me echo and it says, "Now that's not very nice."
There's
Well-
brain freeze.
Enfeebled or not, he didn't get my hand off my spear.
He did not. No, you definitely still have your spear arm going.
And at this point, I know that stabbing him doesn't seem to be working.
I mean, it's kind of working.
Well,
but
not like it would on a person.
True.
So I'm just gonna start like swooshing it through him. This is a fork in the spaghetti.
stir the guy.
We're just
All
stirring
right.
him up.
Fair enough.
It's just about disrupting
Oh,
his
it's
form as
so
much as I
good.
can.
From
Trying to like
noises.
focus on swirling around that.
It's like when you're getting this big
sash.
on your
Exactly.
floor. You stab in and you twirl.
And that will be a 30 to his flat foot.
Yeah, that's gonna hit him.
Mm-hmm.
You did it.
And then I will re-roll that 9 because that's going to be a 29 for the first hit. I'm enfeebled
Still
one.
hits.
Yeah, and then I'll re-roll with magical reverberation.
You don't want to magically reverberate?
No,
Okay.
I can't. And I'll toss that 9 for a nat 20.
Ooh! You have a bless. You have a bless.
Package
Okay.
slash triple damage. He's flat-footed till the end of next round.
Triple damage crit.
And then third attack coming
Come
through
on.
for a 17.
It was a one hit.
So, one hit.
Fat crit.
So first hit is 6, 10, 13 damage.
Okay. Okay, that wasn't the one. we're
That's not the
excited
one that we're
for.
looking
Yeah, come
for.
on, give me
That's
the good
just
one.
the
Give
hit.
me the good one.
A 5 and a 6 on the die. So 11, 15, 18. All right, so that's going to be 46.
Oh my gosh.
This is
46.
The whole 18 triples, right?
18 times
Yeah.
3 is 54.
54,
54.
yeah.
Math.
Yep.
Whoa! That's,
Pop!
Fat.
that's big! That almost ended it! That's the
Oh my
spaghetti
gosh.
technique is definitely working. That
You
is-
see, I had to find the cloth and you're just
as you see
like
Clem's
I'm reeling a fish in.
gritting his teeth and
Word
really
of the
just
opponent, indeed.
pouring down the pressure to push down on you as MD is just swinging and you're just flailing here. He just grits his teeth. Ah! You're a real man! You wouldn't have lost your woman to me! I'm a real boy.
What?
Winter
Word
is
about me.
just...
Well, you got manhandled.
Winter's not usually... She hasn't been with you on any of your adventures. And she's just watching this like...
I kind of lean around the corner like, oh, they're doing pretty good now. I did.
Yeah, like
What?
typically unconscious first round, perfectly fine the next. Who
I got
knows?
sucker punched the first round. I mean, cheap.
Son of ma'am. And so close her eyes and focus again. Not on anyone in particular, but channeling the last bit of the more potent energy that she's got coming out of this. Everyone who is hurt that's not Marius is gonna get 7 points of health back, and Marius, I need you to make a fortitude save.
You know who else has to make a fort save?
18.
Does he have to make a
Ghosty boy,
force
you
save?
take half, so you'll no 18 you take it, boy. You'll take 7 points of damage. No, yeah, no, you're good. You're good. You take half.
This is small.
You take 3. She was not a high-level player.
Take 3?
Take 3.
Okay.
It'd be hilarious if this
Never should a
ended the
GM be
fight.
out of points.
Oh
and in
my
response,
gosh.
Scott, and neither should MD.
Yeah!
Do that. Fortitude save coming in from Climbs here. He does not take any damage.
It would have been hilarious if
That
that
would've been
ended
so
the fight.
good.
There was a chance it could have. He could have had to roll very badly, but he might have. Cammy.
Me. Just kind of looking over towards what you're feeling is very normal. But yeah, usually this is where like me and where did Easy
What
go?
is he even talking about? What man? And this Is he related to Melisande? Do you
I don't know. He's a ghost. We're gonna kill him.
All right, focus.
That's the logic.
Like, if you kill a ghost, he comes back to life.
Meanwhile, I'm going to be sustaining both my Needle of Vengeance and my Stroke the Heart, just kind of like doing my thing. Like you're gonna be okay.
Toss another one.
Anyways,
What
hold
else
on
you
one
got?
second. Mwah. I'm gonna get a focus point back from my lizard. Since I got some spare time here.
The wizard just.
That's my turn.
Mario.
All right, I'm gonna change things up a little bit. I'm gonna run up to him and try to just do a nice big slashy slash with the short sword against.
Okay.
He's
slash,
flat-footed.
slash
You-
the sash.
He is
Switching
flat-footed
out
to your attack.
to the sword. Marius rushing in. You can still Hunter's Flurry with a short sword, by the way. It's not bow specific.
Is it? I thought it had to be a
Is,
range.
is that one? Oh,
yeah,
yeah. I'm
yeah.
thinking of monk. You're right. It's bow
Yeah.
specific.
It's both specific.
Well, what's your attack roll?
That is a 15 for 29.
29 absolutely hits.
Bonk.
He's flat-footed. You got
Give
gang
him a
up strats
bonk.
going on.
Even without gang up, my crit made him flat-footed.
That's true. He's regular flat-footed.
For 6.
Okay. You slash your short sword up through him, and again, you see like the very minor movement, almost like the breeze on the sash here. It's affecting it somehow, but just like slashing and cutting through it isn't doing it. Neither is your sword having much of an effect against his spectral form. That's going to do no damage.
Okay. What is different?
You have
What
one
is
action.
different?
Confused.
The ghost.
Spooky. He's
Gotta
just-
do the fork strap. Put it in and spin it.
Oh yeah, that's what I forgot to do. You know, I'm just gonna claw at him. Why not?
Oh, eat him, dude. Yeah.
The
I'm
ghost.
gonna eat the ghost. It's 0 calories.
As you
This is diet.
swing,
lettuce.
as you swing your hand at him, the sash fully molds around your hand. You can, with your hand, absolutely grab it and manipulate it.
Oh my god.
If you want to do an athletics check
We'll do that.
to try to like rip it off of him, you can.
Yes, please. That was actually what I was gonna do, and then I forgot to say that.
You can be made.
For a 23.
23, however, is not quite going to be good enough to do it. But it's kind of obvious what you're trying to do here. You literally, visible to everyone, get a hold of this translucent sash wrapped around this ghost's body and start trying to get it, like, try to pull it off of him. If it can even be ripped, it feels almost impossible. And with him so focused on bearing down on Trey like he is, getting it off of him is going to take a little bit of a better work than that. But that does immediately get his attention as his head whips around towards you.
Okay.
MD.
Crazy plan.
All right. MD gets another big wicked smile. He just drops the pick. Grabby hands the stash.
Athletics check.
I'm a rogue. Rolled an 18 on the die. A total.
I'm a rogue, he says.
A total of a 32.
Let's go with Trey immediately as you rip this sash off and pull it off of him, and he just stands up and screams. You see a beaming red energy crackle out of his eyes as he turns around and looks at you, almost lightning ripping across his body with rage.
I'm gonna bonk. Sash in one hand. Like, who's the man now? Rolled an 18 on the die to bonk him.
First thing was an attack, so this is still
Was an attack?
it's an attack to
Okay,
do
so
that.
it's a 28.
Good grapple is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, 28 versus flat-footed.
28 will critically hit as he is putting absolutely no effort into trying to avoid you anymore. He is full fury.
3, 6, 12, 17, 22, 44.
And just in this almost the same motion as ripping the sash off, he turns to you and what happens?
He turns to me and the club just one more time passes right through him. And kind of like dissatisfying, he just disperses. Like, and you hear MD grumble, "Shut up."
And as he does in fact fade away here, the spirit dismissed as the same as the first time that he had vanished after throwing you across the room. Dispelled. For a moment, the sash still lingers in your hand before it too fades away.
Well, that was rather interesting.
Good call,
I have
Barnes.
never in all my years seen an exorcism like that.
Well, we're not really good at exorcisms. We're good at beating stuff up. Really good at that, actually.
You did great.
Well, thanks for the help, by the way.
A pat her on like the back of the
Yeah.
leg.
Just
The back of
walk
her
up to her,
calf.
put my
just-
hand on her shoulder, and like, thanks for the help.
I don't think that had anything to do with the cult.
I think he was just a resident.
They must have just run afoul of him and then realized that they could use this room. Certainly he was strong. No one they threw in here would survive against him. But
We never got an answer about who
I don't
was
understand.
tormenting him.
why is he
Probably.
here? A specter is typically tied to the site of whatever's keeping it bound to Galarian, bound to the material plane. Why here? Why a storage cellar in the basement of Fort Halicourse? He wasn't in the jail.
I'm just gonna look around the room.
Well, you saw the foot.
Yep.
And even from where you are now, as this ghost lets go of you and you pull yourself up, and the enfeebled goes away as soon as he no longer has a hold of you, you can look over and you can see it is attached to a whole body.
Does it have a sash?
It does not. No, it's actually very different. It's done up in pretty well finery, like not just well made, but a little more on the side of elaborate and extravagant, more fashionable clothing around a man that looks to be maybe in his mid-60s, with hair cropped fairly short up around his skull and a beard that hangs down a little below his chin, fairly round, pudgy face, a man who has lived well and clearly little physical effort in his life. Aside from that, there's nothing immediately apparent in the room, but as it becomes clear that it's safe to come in and you're looking, Winter at least would step into the room, look around the corner, and just step back, eyes wide. That's the magistrate. That's Magistrate Paget. That's the mayor of Thrushmore.
Well, that's another one found. There we go.
Another mystery solved. Look at us go, gang.
So the cult's slain him as well.
At this point, are we surprised?
I suppose not. It's all but certain the Count will be among the dead by the end of this then as well.
Well, either the Count's part of it, he left and they decided to take over, or he's dead. It's only three options.
How could Thrushmore recover from this? The loss of their guard, their sergeant at arms, their mayor, their count?
Didn't the entire town disappear once?
I suppose that's true.
People are resilient.
It's easy to forget with everything that's happening now, but I suppose this town has endured greater hardships, if you could even consider that enduring, so much is replaced. What does any of this mean?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Malevolence probably, more than likely, has all the answers. Whether or not she'll have time to give them to us before I kill her, we'll find out.
She's not incredibly forthcoming. I've tried.
There must be something. I don't know if it'll be any answers, but if we could find the reason for this haunting, for this Pret to have remained here, for whatever reason. Oft it's as simple as an unburied corpse, but
Oh,
he emerged from the wall.
I was about to say he came from that wall. Which I gotta pick up my pick. Start.
There's not a start. A single swing of your pick would immediately have the tooth of it bite through what is clearly just plaster with nothing behind it. And a couple of swings, and easily just pulling it down with your hands later, you would reveal that this was a doorway.
A doorway that had simply, again, just been plastered, sealed over. Somewhat haphazardly. It wasn't really done very well. They didn't bother reinforcing it or anything. They just hid it.
It's drywall with just stone
Count them up.
paints
Pretty much,
painted
yeah.
on it.
Well, it is all just got flat plaster in here, but
The story where they plastered someone up in the. You see that at the nuns, by the way. It's just, my brain is going wild.
on the back side of this hole, there is another jail cell. This one, a little more heavy duty. Rusted hinges of what once was a much heavier door. Looks like was removed at some point before this was sealed away. And a smell of dead air, like a tomb inside. It is smaller than the rest. No cot, no bucket, no amenities at all. And inside are several bales of hay, just sort of stacked haphazardly, filling most of the room.
How molded? Like rotten?
The air in here is quite dry, and sealed as it has been, it's stale. They're definitely old and long dead, but they haven't really molded.
Which when I hear old hay, I think like
That's what would
that
normally
wet
happen,
dog
but it's
smell.
it's been kept in like a dry, literally sealed basement. So
And they're blocking our view into the room, or there's several.
they are
stacked up?
filling the room.
They're
Like the whole
filling
of the
their-
room is just big bales of hay. They could fit out the doorway.
Let's start
but
pulling
Yeah,
them
start
out.
moving them.
It would be the work of only a couple of
hand them off to
minutes for
Candy
a
and
group
watch
of a group of 4 incredibly large, strapping individuals like yourselves
And Winter.
and Winter to work to remove some of this hay.
I'm actually the weakest link here.
Where you would reveal the only piece of furniture in this room is a small bench against the back wall. And huddled, forgotten, desiccated on the floor in front of it is a corpse.
With the sash.
Corpse with a pale yellow sash drawn around his body in very simple. But what's the word I'm looking for? It's not out of fashion. It's just like it's not
Outdated.
It's an outfit. It's an outfit that's not from around here. It's a fashion from not from Thrushmore. It's not.
So he's
Slavic
French.
style. Foreign is the word. Yeah, foreign will work. Like
Exotic.
a foreign exotic was the word I was looking for. Exotic sort of simple outfit.
I'm really starting to hate the color yellow.
And it's quite the
The
theme, isn't
man has several large tattoos scrawled across his chest and down one of his thighs, most of which seem to depict almost abstract, swirling creatures of mouths and eyes.
So he's like mummified.
Pretty close.
Can I grab the sash and get a better
I'm
look at
gonna
it?
bring his body out into this bigger room and lay it down.
it? Yeah,
Winter, you want-
Be
Winter.
able to immediately identify not one but 2 signatures of magic in this room. So probably unsurprisingly, the sash itself, as well as a gold-threaded baldric that he's wearing.
Baldric.
I will hand you.
What is a baldric?
Clothing.
Okay.
If I remember right.
I got
Could-
that
Like
part
a
in
vest or
context, but
something, or
Cards.
what's a baldric?
What's a baldric?
not much. What's Baldric with you?
Oh gosh.
That was awful.
That's not even
Let's-
a good one.
Take our midstream break real quick.
You got the thing.
Keep them closed unless you're
Wait,
putting them
let me
on,
see.
because like the first thing you
let me
get
see.
is, or if you're gonna try to identify them.
What do you wanna?
Yeah, this one.
We'll take our midstream break real quick.
Oh no!
He's got that.
Oh.
He's got to smell it. He's got to get the
No,
kind
just-
of R out of it.
You're gonna eat it.
Yummy.
We're gonna stand up,
That's how you identify this.
stretch our legs, grab some drinks, grab some snacks real quick. That is one of my favorite monsters in second edition. It's so funny. The ability is literally called teleporting clothesline. It's like
So good.
It's a Dragon Ball move.
there's no literally it's like a Dragon Ball move. It's like
Yeah.
instant transmission clothesline. There's no I found that I was looking for something to put down here for climbs. And I was looking through all like
the ghosty, spectery things, and I saw that. I'm like, yo,
That's it.
he's
It's
that
it. I
one.
found my
I
guy.
don't care what level it's supposed to be. I'll make it fit. He's that. I'm running that. That's so funny. It's called a grappling spirit. If you want to look it up, it's literally one of my favorite monsters Pies ever made. If you want to join in supporting our heroes here as part of the show, you get a bunch of cool channel points just from hanging out. You can spend on hero points and villain points, but we've also got a bunch of incentives that kind of scroll through the corner down there. Ways you can support the show directly. Leave your mark, whether it be a pivotal hero point to keep Kevin alive or the frost bomb that almost killed him in the first place. Both of those were
If you bless me, you get to watch me almost one-shot the boss
or
fight.
a crazy bless card on Trey, who will pop it almost immediately.
One of these days I'll pop my butt.
One of these days I'll pop mine.
Well, if you
too.
want something more direct, we've got a
Now I
Patreon and a coffee now. Both we've simplified to one simple $5 tier. Easiest and most direct way you can support the show, and you get a bunch of bonus post-show content from every episode we put out. Beyond that, we got a bunch of cool sponsors. We got Arkenforge, we got Norse Foundry, we got Eldritch Foundry. We can get you minis, we can get you maps, we can get you dice. Using any of those to get your cool stuff you wanted to get anyway, A, gets you a discount, and B, helps support the show.
The only thing we can't get you is friends to play with. You gotta source those yourself, unfortunately.
We have a Discord.
Yeah, you gotta source
There's
it.
honestly a pretty decent amount of people go
This
through there
just in,
looking
we
for
can
people
source
to play
that.
with.
Oh,
Just
oh,
kidding.
yeah.
We can, in fact, do that.
Turns out I lied, and if you get a Malachite, you're guaranteed to roll 20s.
Shut up. Don't listen to him.
Disclaimer.
Don't
not
go too
guaranteed.
far, everybody. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes.
Actually,
Recklessly
BRB.
endangered the audience.
you're guaranteed to roll a 20.
Oh,
He's hustling.
he's hustling.
The chair has been included in the jacket.
The chair is part of the costume.
He's a hunchback.
He's
He's Quasimodo.
Welcome back, everybody. One of the greatest challenges of running not just Strange Aeons, but the UGT show as a whole is that the studio has one bathroom.
and we
there
all
are,
gotta go pee pee.
on an average day, 7 of us in here. We're even down one. It's just, we gotta
Rehydrate.
go.
Gotta
We hydrate. We
rehydrate?
do it. We're hydrate homies here. These mugs are not just for show. We do be drinking. I go through this whole mug over the course of the 3 hours.
Well,
Oh
to
my
be fair,
gosh.
Do you not?
I go through
Whenever
two.
when I
yeah, I go through
am a
2.5
player,
roughly.
then I'll drink it because I'll have
you
like
get big
I'll be more
Twinkies.
relaxed. I have more time to
You're
think.
too
And I,
stressed while you're GMing.
whenever I GM'd,
Put
I
that on the
hardly
screen.
ever remembered
This
unless
is
I was
Arcadis's bottle.
He drinks the entire thing every show.
unless I was
It's
actively
kinda crazy.
hacking my lungs out. I would be so just
You need
in
a-
the zone, like arranging things when I was GMing
second.
that I did not.
Gesundheit.
I would forget that I brought a drink.
You
at
need
all.
like 10 channel points. Hydrate. Everyone hydrate.
You call it cheers.
The hydrate homies. I have that in my personal
Everybody
stream.
cheers it.
I know you do.
I have the drink redeem in the personal stream. That would actually be kind of funny here. So
Cheers.
cheers is a really good
That's
idea. Actually, I kind
cute.
of like that. That's really cute. We could definitely put that in. But back
Everyone starts cheering.
as we left off, we had defeated the spirit of Climbs Pratt, a man left interred back behind a wall that certainly predates the cult's takeover of Thrushmore. Whether it's in some way related, whether this has been a thing for longer than we imagine, is still unknown. According to Winter, the cult was using him, or at least his chamber. Before we get too deep here, as we all clear out what became the burial tomb of Mr. Pratt here, who do we have looking through this ancient cell? We'll start on this side this time.
Oh, me.
We start over there. This is the beginning.
That's
Start
fair.
over there.
My name is Sully, and I play Cammy, an itty-bitty gnomish witch who just got a brand new sash.
It's yellow.
It's
Your
yellow.
favorite color.
Yes.
Howdy, I'm Dirt, and I play Trey Huglum, the Hobgoblin frontline fighter. I'm a big boy.
I play MD, the full-blooded orc rogue who is taking the brand new sash away from Cammy.
Oh, why?
Fun, please.
things.
We also got a fancy new sheath that would be perfect for the two-handed length spear that is one-handed because mechanics.
I'm Marcus. I play Marius, the dwarf ranger ghoul person, who unfortunately didn't really do too much in this fight. I missed all of the things.
You did.
no,
you did one.
You
damage.
did a point of damage,
Another
and
point.
you taught them about the weakness.
You triggered the thing.
You are the reason that MD even knew to do that, because you went for it with your little ghoul hands.
I mean, to be fair, I went for it too, to a great effect.
So wrestling ghost, you got wrestling. I mean, the spaghetti technique. Was
I just
also
tried to pick up the spaghetti with
It's
my
pivotal
hands. And
to
you-
the.
As you clear out
It's also
this
effective.
chamber, revealing what's certainly the desiccated corpse of Climes, recovering the magic infused in his baldric and in his strange sash.
The decimated penultimate corpse.
What?
Using words wrong.
Desiccated?
Decimated penultimate corpse.
You're using words.
Yes.
Okay.
He's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, even in
My name
his,
is Derp.
If,
That's his legal
He has a
name.
point. Even in his near mummified state here, you can tell that this man was huge in life. Anyone trained in society, even given the state that he is now, could tell that this was a fairly large Ulfin man, which are not super uncommon throughout Thrushmore, the Ulfin heritage being not terribly far from Ustalav in general, but his garb indicating that he's like Ulfin, like from the northern kingdoms. Like doesn't look like he's from around here. He was a traveler. He's Quest for the Frozen Flame Ulfin. He's he's Ulfin. He looks like his dress makes him look like he would fit more in that campaign than this one.
So you know the dialect that the guards in Skyrim speak in?
That's what I was.
That's what this,
Going for,
yeah. That's what this guy sounds like when he talks.
Ah, okay.
My vocal guide for this one was Skyrim guard if he was a professional wrestler.
Yup.
That was take Hulk Hogan, take Stop Right There, Criminal Scum, mash them together.
Stop right there, brother.
Pretty good.
Climes Pratt.
All right then.
As we come back in here, Winter kneeled in what space she could find in this small cell, saying a prayer over this forgotten body. What are you doing?
Oh, taking the sash from Cam.
No, that's the one I really want.
Taking
That's
the,
the
No,
one I want to
no,
look
this
at.
is the one I really want.
taking the sheath.
I need.
Can have the shit.
I'm coughing up blood the entire time. Just
Come on,
I just
kid.
feel like, stop. I hold out. It's lay on hands. You're fine.
I'm just gonna
I
put this on.
I don't have a lot of my blessings left in me. They perhaps was too spontaneous with them when I was rescued, but I was giddy at the thought of not dying here. Simple enough. And that was terrifying.
Bro.
Admittedly, I used close to what last I have. I have a little, but it's not potent and it's not much. But if it'll aid, I can use it now.
no, I feel much better.
If you
So-
put it on, anytime you want to put one of these on, you can unfold them once. Because the first fold just tells you exactly what you feel from wearing it, if anything.
I'm
It's
putting-
like the immediately apparent effect. Because sometimes, if you put on, like, night vision goggles, you're going to get a little bit of an indication about what night vision goggles do. You don't need to identify them.
They make
a
the world
caveman
green.
can put those on and be like, ugh. And
The caveman puts it on and goes, the world is green.
You feel a strange link with this item. It's connected to you.
Cammy slips this on while you're trying to take it from him. She goes, no, it's mine. And I love it. It says you feel emboldened, ready to take on anything. Fight me for it. I want you to do it.
channeling the spirit of climbs.
I really don't think you should be wearing something you don't know what it does.
Love it.
He only says that to you. He doesn't care that I put on the ball.
You've got the baldric. He's like, whatever, Trey will be fine.
Trey will be fine. I haven't seen Trey go down once.
If we're fixing to spend some time, I'd love to further identify it.
I think it would probably be wise to at least give you some medical attention. That spirit, it was a powerful one.
We've dealt with worse.
Surely, but that doesn't discount your injuries. Here,
I'm gonna step out of the room again.
She's not gonna cast. She's gonna, if you guys give her some medical supplies, she will do a medicine check. Like she'll do
Oh,
10 minutes. She
nice.
can treat somebody.
I think
she
we'll
can actually treat 2 of you at the same time.
probably
It's
be
a
in this
better
room
than
for
this.
like 20 or 30 minutes in.
Okay. If you just want, to
just
stay
gonna
here
hang
for a
out.
bit with Winter aiding you, it probably would not take terribly long. With her help, it'd probably only take you like 30 minutes to get back up to fighting fit. In that time, you could certainly attempt to identify your various items. So,
I'll take one attempt at all 3.
Soli, what's your modifier?
Yeah, I can take
Which
attempts at
which
it.
modifier? Which
When you're identifying an
Religion
item,
still?
you use whatever you want.
Oh, whatever I want.
Yeah, religion is because he was undead, but for items, it's your understanding of magic is any of the 4.
And
usually.
14.
14. Bam. You have the sash, not the baldric. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and unfold it once for a regular success. And what's
Okay.
your modifier?
Plus 11, and I'm going to do the ring first.
The ring, right? Because you know it does something else. Not sure. It's something, but it eludes you. The baldric, also not sure.
I can look at him now too.
Yeah.
I'm trained in religion.
Well, then I'll throw you
That's a 9.
one of each real quick too. Not sure.
I'm
I'm
not.
not gonna let you re-critically fail the ring because we've already spent that one. So as funny as it would be to give you a different wrong answer, I'm not gonna come up with one. And you
We might as well, so I'll take a look as well now.
sure.
With a-
Why not?
That's a plus 11 on religion.
Hey, there we go. I was like, wow, I'm rolling actual trash on these.
Not when you're rolling for the.
I rolled 3 20s in the climbs fight, but
I don't like it.
that one would at least let Marius look through the baldric and get you. Here. I picked one at random. I gave you the critical failure one on baldric, so give him the real one and unfold it to success.
Oh, what did you give us on Sash?
I 50-50 which one I give you. Because if I give you the critical failure one every time and I just tell you to unfold it to success, you know you failed. But I just grabbed one at random.
So I can flip to success.
Just a regular success, yep.
Hey, Mario should be the one to look at it since he did it.
That's true. It should,
Yeah, give it to
it should,
Marius.
Marius is the one that identified it.
It's hard
We
to
haven't
get
had
the
any
papers
on
back
the side
on.
of the table, so we don't know what they are.
Oh.
And I'm going to hand you
What to
back the
do?
ring. Like,
Hey, you
Wrong
guys
the
gotta
first time.
Just
Oh.
stop fighting over it and take
Let
actually
me
look
see.
at
Here,
it.
hold this.
It's a gold buckle baldric. When glowing, you activate the baldric to restore your vigor.
Wow.
So,
How do I make it glow?
That he does not know.
Can I try again on the ring?
Once a day.
Once a day. Ah, no, still looks like. I put it back on. I zone out for again, like hear all the voices. I still hate it. No.
I guess I'll try it again, or on the sash, because I haven't tried that yet.
I rolled for the sash for you too. I rolled all of them.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Well, because it also failed.
Well, you did it, but I could do it again.
He's sad.
I'm sad now.
There's the same day. What do you mean you can't do
He's
it again?
crying. Oh my gosh. The people on the
This is it. This is
podcast
what
won't
breaks
know
the-
that it's not true.
Try it then.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'd like
Well-
to imagine that we all act like this
Okay.
in character, and Winter's just like, what is going on?
They need to be
I
locked
mean,
back
she-
up.
yeah,
They belong at the
They
asylum.
should have been. They should have stayed.
Maybe
there.
it was a bad idea to take them off the island.
With all of that, though, and during that time, in addition to treating you, Winter does what simple Phrasman funeral rites she can for the body of Climbs.
And the body of the magistrate.
It's and the body of Magistrate too, which is also down here.
Double funeral.
May be wise to
Bogo
take
funeral.
both of these up at least to the courtyard. Often a proper burial is the easiest way to end a haunting. Defeating a spirit in combat is no guarantee that it's been properly exorcised. The Climb's ghost may return if we leave the body here.
We're gonna have
Besides,
to do a lot of funerals.
there will be time. Absolutely. And there are rites for mass graves.
Can we just turn the entire fort into one?
They do need to be buried.
What about thinking?
We're gonna need to ordain a couple more priests or something.
We're gonna need some help.
This as much as it pains me. And I hope the Grey Mother can forgive my judgment if poor, but may needs be something that waits. We should take the body of Climbs with us to inter it now to ensure the spirit does not degenerate. But even the magistrate need to wait until things are done with. We don't know what dangers this fort may still hold, what may have been missed, or what Melisande or her cultists may send. If they can move through those drawings, those strange chalk upon the wall, as you say, they could be here in an instant.
Yeah, the whole fort's compromised.
The whole town is. And who knows how much beyond that.
All right, then. Trey, you want to carry the body this time?
Fine by me.
I'm tired of carrying dead bodies.
It is about, midnight? Something late.
Just look up at the ceiling. I couldn't tell you.
Should be fine for us to head back, even with the body.
I imagine that you would have offered by now were there a chance, but I'll ask anyway. None of you came across my pendant, did you?
I don't
That
believe we did.
Mirror demon took it from me.
I don't think we were really looking for it, but
No, you would have probably noticed it. You did not find it, no. The mirror demon took it from me. I know not what she did with it.
That might be at Iris Hill. Wasn't here.
She didn't have it, that's for sure.
Very well. As long as I have one of her symbols upon me, I'll make do. Let us quit this place. I'm tired of it days ago.
I was tired of it hours ago.
I never wanted to be here.
This
It
is a
sounded
terrible
fun.
This was
idea,
all your
Marius.
idea.
Wha-
What do you mean?
sounded-
Why did you make us come here?
Well, if it was your goal, Marius, then it is you in particular I have to thank for my rescue.
He didn't want to do this at all.
Yeah, this was my half-brained idea, actually.
And I went along with it because it was also what I was thinking of doing when we got refused at the gate.
Can we kind of come around the corner for are we not doing the bit anymore? Wait.
It was a joke to make Marius feel. I don't even know how he feels.
I'm happy
Hungry.
to leave. No, I had so much fish already.
He's gotten his belly full.
I still haven't
You don't have to accept it.
really. It's not anything amiss with you. It's seems to be the sense of humor outside the cloisters. Foreign to me, but
Morbid humor for a morbid lot.
I'm pretty sure our sense of humor is warped anyways.
many would say mine is absent entirely. So I suppose I'm of no place to judge.
I mean, me and Cammy tried our hardest to make the artist fellow laugh, and he didn't even grin
Not
once.
even once. And we're pretty funny.
We're very
I
funny.
assume
So-
that you guys are you're walking.
We're walking.
Yes.
walking like we're not just standing in the
We're just
basement
walking
of the
and
floor forever.
talking.
Make your way out as you talk.
Leaving
Back
the
out from the
oozes.
cell. I'm assuming
The oozes can stay
we're just
there
leaving
forever.
the oozes in the closet. Like they can just live. They can have the pantry. That's cool.
Yep.
We don't need it. I can just
Not
go
my
buy
monkeys, not my
bananas at the
circus.
grocery
What's
store.
on
They
ooze?
can have them.
Lifespan of an ooze is yes.
And back up the stairs to Fort Halicourse proper and out. I assume you could use the front door if you wanted to. Here on the inside.
I don't see why not.
But as you come up the stairs to the main level, this connecting chamber that has the basement stairwell also has a door on its southern side that opens into the flank of the courtyard. When you first fell down into the courtyard, it was the one behind you. There was the window you dove through, and there's a door behind you. That door leads into this stair chamber. That door is open. And there is a woman standing in the doorway. Not one that you recognize. It's not Reese, it's not Melisande. It doesn't look... Well, I guess I don't know what a cultist looks like, really. I guess a
They're
cultist
wearing
can
yellow.
look like anything.
Weapons are drawn.
I figure you're gonna see
Still a
anything. You're
hostile
immediately
area.
whipping
Yeah.
your weapons
Yeah.
out. She doesn't. She just is standing there. She's got wavy, somewhat unkempt, dark brown hair and thin, very plain-looking face. Nothing really super remarkable about her at all, really. Her skin's tanned from probably much of a life working outside, but here in Ustalav, there's only so much sun. And she's wearing a very simple, outfit you would find a farmhand in, out in the surrounding environs. And she just looks at the group of you. Almost kind of a mix of a little bit of fear in her face and a little bit of just absent thought, like she's only half here as the first of you come up the stairs.
How'd you get in here?
Through the courtyard.
All right, then. What's your name? Who are you?
Well, I'd tell you if I could remember. But ever since the Tongal curse, anything I could remember about my past life is gone.
The what curse?
Tangal. It's not a common one. I'm not surprised you haven't heard of it. Could imagine I could tell near everyone in this town, and honestly, it'd be a shock if one knew it.
Well, if we did know it, we wouldn't remember it.
You too?
Amnesia. Pull up my patient's file again. Do you remember how to read?
I suppose it's a similar thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's you lot then that is responsible for, well, whatever's been happening here in these walls. All the scum, all the risen. You slew him?
Trey did most of the slaying.
As I figured. I would have put a couple of gold on it being one of the two of you. She looks across Trey and MD. But I've learned enough not to underestimate smaller sorts. I know what magic's capable of, even if I don't understand it. Well, before we do anything, let me tell you this. Ramatri sent me, and I'm going to do my best to kill you. I have to. But who are you? What are you here for?
Well,
Just gonna point at Winter.
we're looking for Winter. Man, honestly, I was hoping to just meet Mellison here.
I don't know who Winter is. And she just kind of looks at her. But, okay, she was here. And she's not with us. She's one of yours?
She was
Correct.
taken, yeah.
Well, technically, she's not one of us. She was an innocent bystander.
Well, I don't know who us is, frankly.
As far as I see it, it's
Just gonna gesture at us, and just
this group and everything else.
They don't tell me much. Just send me out to deal with things like this. Well, I don't know about like this. That divining lady that's staying out in the guest house said she felt something was wrong down at the fort, and just wanted to go check. Melson was busy. Ramatri can't come down, so me it is.
All right, then, you seem reasonable. If we're gonna do this, you at least tell us what you're capable of so we're on a even playing field.
I can't help you. The Tongal curse is... I'm not a magical sort. I worked a farm, I think. That's what they told me. But as far as I can understand, whatever Ramatri commands as her minion, I can't resist it. I can try. I have tried. But it just makes it worse. I don't know exactly where the line is, and I ain't dumb enough to try and flirt with it any further. But as long as we're standing, and I ain't letting you leave or do nothing, it don't seem to irritate it.
Fair enough. What were you specifically told to do, I suppose?
Deal with the problem. If there was one. Again, they don't even really right know. That Daleen woman, she just sensed something. I don't know, cast some kind of spell. She likes to keep them going. She's a real, sort of skittish kind of gal. She doesn't trust things can work right, even if everything seems to be going right as rain. Smooth as a rolling river.
I suppose tonight's a good example of her being correct.
She often is. They wouldn't have sent me otherwise.
I really don't think there's a problem here.
I wish I could say the same.
When there's nothing going on, all's calm. We're on our way out.
You asked how I got here. I can show you. Here. And she kind of motions and turns and just steps out through the door to the courtyard.
I'll follow.
You guys going with her? The courtyard's a pretty decently big space. You would have obviously you've seen it from the Ramparts map. I don't have to tell you the shape of it. It's got a pretty big well sat in the middle, and it's got those chalk drawings all around the outsides of it. More detailed, almost more hectic, like they're layered over the top of each other. And she walks out kind of towards the well, not looking back or anything. The group of you sort of follow, and she just trudges. This still just almost blankly staring down and forward. And she stops and turns around, picks her head up, and just sort of gestures out towards the walls. I don't really know what to call these. I don't know how any of this kind of wizardry works, but it's tied to those rocks. Those little etched yellow monolith things.
Stellae.
That's what they call them, yeah.
Yeah.
They do something with them. And she reaches down into the neck of her little tunic and pulls out a pendant. A pendant with a yellow symbol. It's like 3 intertwined, kind of winding arms that seem to twist in almost random directions. There's no symmetry. There's no clear design to this sigil. It just looks almost like nothing. But at the same time, all of you looking at this icon recognize it. You would all recognize a yellow sign. You touch the rock, you touch this, just think about where you want to go. Simple enough.
Fair enough.
I don't know what more there is to it than that. Miss Mellison had to do something to make it so I was able to use them. But, well, and she kind of looks up at the night sky here, the moon floating, crescent overhead. It's lit, it's dim, but visible out here. Since you guys picked night, wasn't a whole lot we could send. Ramachu can't control her form that well at night. I think it just kind of does its own thing. I don't know. Well, she looks like she squints her eyes thinking for a moment. I can't help you. I can't let you leave. But I don't see any harm in telling you what happened to me.
Fair enough.
Well, she killed me. I remember that. She killed me and I turned into whatever I am now. She said it's the Tongal curse. It's some kind of thing that spreads through death. And she's a particularly powerful one. That's why she doesn't want to come out and deal with anything, because if she has to kill someone, she's going to have to deal with more minions, more spawn, more folk like me. I guess I'm not quite there, so if I kill you, you'll just be dead. Whoever can come pick it up and clean it up after.
Well, you say that, but
Pointing to Marius.
we've had one rise from the dead before.
Really?
Different kind of curse.
And all this is beyond anything I knew. I tended fields. I turned soil. They told me I had a farm and a family and a husband. First thing Ramatri did after turning me was make me kill him. They didn't want any chance that I'd get reported missing or anything come back to them. So that was where I learned I can't ignore her call.
All right, then. And how do you feel about that?
I don't know that I feel much of anything anymore, honestly. I wanted to. Well, I don't know. If I do anything that tries to resist it, it takes over. I turn and there's no going back. And you make no mistake, that will happen before we're done here. And I'd say I'm truly sorry, but I don't even know that I can feel I am anymore. But if you, just the 5 of you, and the 4 of you in winter here, were able to do all of what you did here in the fort, with all the risen and all the scum, well, maybe you can handle me too.
That's what I'm hoping for. Whenever you're ready,
No hard feelings, of course.
Not at all.
I'll send you back to your family. Have a good Pharasman priest here with us. She'll say your rights.
That's about the best ending that I can hope for.
It's the best thing I can give you.
I hunt prey during this.
Yeah, 100%.
It's purely a mental action.
I'm gonna kind of tap Trey on the back while we're
If-
Mars the entire time.
As you reach out and tap Trey, and that little flash of magic, her head like snaps to you, and her eyes kind of widen. You see her pupils just dilate up, and her eyes kind of start shaking. She looks your direction. It's coming.
We're ready.
Best of luck, then.
I'm sorry.
Sleep well.
I'm gonna need you guys to roll initiative.
Chonky die.
Yeah.
Were we,
You haven't
Just
started
say
on-
I
were
was
we doing
scouting.
activities?
I would definitely just take
Yeah.
a scouting bonus. You literally have nothing else going on. Cammy,
That's going to be 28.
Trey,
19.
MD,
24.
Marius.
21.
She is gonna get also a 21. So she's gonna roll smack here. And I guess Winter's here. I'll roll her. She doesn't have a lot of magic left.
She does
Gonna do
cantrips.
Great.
That's true. So what'd you get, Trey?
I got a 19.
Oh, she does.
Because of scouting, it would have been an 18.
Cammy, you are up first.
I hate when this happens.
Not everything we kill is evil.
Well, where is she relative to us here?
She is by the well, probably about like 10 feet.
Okay, so I'm as long as I'm in the back, that's really all
You're
I
in the
care
back,
about.
yeah. You and Winter are definitely.
She
in the
is
back.
standing
I
in
wouldn't
your
know you
square.
get in the front.
You are the biggest and most intimidating of us
I am
all.
the biggest and the strongest. You're right. You're right.
You should rightfully be in the
I'll
front.
give you all your $5 after. First step, just going to sustain the Stoke the Heart that I just cast on Trey as
Okay.
we're all kind of warming up here. And what does this well look like?
It's your normal, traditional, like, fantasy little stone brick well. It's probably about waist high, maybe like 4-ish feet across. Doesn't have a crossbeam with a little bucket on it, but in all other ways, it's the most generic looking little stone well in the middle of the fort. They just threw a rope down and drew water from.
Okay, kind of in the shadows over on the, I guess, the northern wall from us, you would see a sort of rustling on the shadow of the fountain where it looks like one giant brick laid on it just rises up and smacks into this lady. This is going to be Malicious Shadow.
Fancy.
Just one hit.
Just a little fella.
Just a little fella. Just a little fella. Here we go. It's not
Well,
very good.
Well,
Are you seeing something different? I am.
no.
Okay. You said it sounded better when you said it.
Well, it's just the tone of voice.
Oh, I see. This is going to be from TYP 1337, or is that type 1337? I don't know if we
Type
decided.
lead.
Huh? Oh, type
We ended
lead.
up at type lead, I think.
Type lead.
Type lead. That's cute. Kind of, you see like the rocks sort of stumble for a bit as I'm like trying to imaginary re-grab it and readjust my gripping. No, that's a nat one. Never
Oh,
mind.
You
Even
tried.
worse.
It's not good.
Well, the good news is it went
It's
from a 3 to a
still
1.
up, so I
Yeah,
can
it's still-
still
it's
do
whipping.
it just later as it's the rock flails through the air.
Yeah.
It just stood up and went.
You feel bad. Your heart's not in it.
No.
MD.
I'm going to step up to be directly to the left of Trey. I'm going to spend the last 2 of my actions to ready an attack as my arm holding the pick goes limp and the dagger just comes up ready to strike.
Okay. And she sees you kind of form up, and the 3 of you, Marius, MD, and Trey, making a line there. And she sort of steps back a bit, just getting a bit of distance. Her eyes still dilated as what's the whites of her eye around the eyes outside start to change. They start to turn red. Her iris disappearing almost entirely as she looks down and shakes her head a bit, picks her hands up, and just looks at him for a second. None of you have, Cammy tried to kind of make a swing. And she just looks out across to make it May and casts a spell out across the group of you. I need everyone to make a will save. This is a fear effect.
Will we take damage?
No.
Okay, then. Well, then I'll just roll.
Wonderful. Actually, can I re-roll that with a...
Yeah, you can do anything with a hero point.
Roll that.
You know what? That sounds pretty good.
Twice.
Ugh.
Okay, it's a little better.
That's a little better. Look at you. You're good at these.
Well, what do you got, Marius?
That was Will.
Yes.
25.
Regular failure.
22.
Regular failure.
15.
Critical failure.
29.
Regular success. Left side of the table, you are both frightened too, as a wave of just fear and despair overwhelms your mind. Critical failure, you are frightened 3. So even with your stacking
finally
things,
feel
you are
fear.
still frightened
Oh my
1,
gosh.
and you are fleeing. You are frightened 1.
Oh no.
Marius, you see in the aftermath of this spell something you've never seen before, which is Trey falter. He is literally like turning to run from this.
Oh, I'm immune to fleeing.
You mean to flee?
That's part of it.
Fair enough. Then you're just frightened 1. Never mind.
Oh,
But
thank
he's
goodness.
spooked though, which is also something you haven't
You
seen.
see him take a step back.
Still
We
unsettling.
ended up deciding that instead of flight,
That's what it was.
1 and
Right.
immune to fleeing, because I have bravery, it's just 2 and immune to fleeing.
Okay, so you're frightened 1.
Okay. I'm going to try to aim a little bit.
I didn't think the
and
fleeing
use
thing would
the,
come into matter for a while.
I think it's just the hunter's aim again.
you.
Yeah. So hunter's aim for an arrow. See what happens.
They go shoot out.
Okay, that's 16 on the die for 20 or 31.
31. She
plus
casts
2
this out.
minus 2. So
Yeah, you shoot the arrow. The arrow's gonna catch her. It hits her right in the shoulder, and she shudders a little bit from the impact, but doesn't seem to even acknowledge the pain.
okay.
Give me a damage. He's thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
It's a stumper.
It hit her.
I need the damage.
I thought you were like it didn't
No,
do anything. so
she
it's
doesn't. No, it definitely hit her. Like she doesn't like seem like the pain bothers her at all. But he
10.
definitely hit her.
That's 11.
Okay, 11 points of damage.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem phased by it. Just the physical impact of the arrow makes her
Okay.
shoulder shudder a little.
So in that case, I will give one more.
Okay.
11, 12, so 21. No, 23.
23.
So then 21. Yeah.
21. Yeah, with that one, as you shoot, she focused on you now from that first arrow. Just kind of quickly tries to move. It was a little wide anyway. That one's going to miss. Trey, frightened.
I feel fear. And upon feeling fear, I'm going to relish in it. Feeling alive again for the first time in a hefty minute. Combat is bringing sensations I have not felt in over a week of life and death situations. And I'm going to stance up in joy rather than going cold this time.
He's afraid and he's happy about it.
What is fear but a desire to live?
The voices just will not come out again.
Struggling to get in it today.
And then instead of stepping forward to be in range, I'm just going to go all the way forward and get behind her.
Immediately behind her? Or three
Immediately.
spots? Okay.
I'm not going to let her cast spells for free as I step up and then grab her.
Okay. Quickly rushing in while she's trying to juke the arrow, you get behind her and reach out.
29.
29 will grab her. She's grabbed.
And that is 3 actions.
Seems just like somebody who got out of an asylum to try to intentionally want to hear the voices.
Sorry, 28. I don't think that matters.
The
But
28 will still grab her.
It's that post-asylum type beat.
I just miss all of them.
Winter in the bank is going to look at this, not entirely sure what it is, but by the grace of Pharasma, it's got to go.
Yeah!
On the dagger here, incant a quick spell, and switch her grip around to the hilt and draw it and point the blade out. And as she does, you will see a little shine at the tip of the knife, which manifests into a swirling, almost slow-moving whirl of gray mist that accelerates as it hones in towards her. It's going to shoot a little beam out, which I was going to say is absolutely not going to hit, but she rolled a 19. It absolutely is going to hit.
and she's flat-footed.
Yeah, she's 5 foot. That'll hit. Almost max damage. 11 damage.
Oh my god!
You were going to say, and it doesn't
Winner's
do
on the
anything.
board. I know that's-
She's a real player.
Candy.
You might want to stoke Winter's heart.
Honestly, she's carrying. Oh man,
When the level 2 cleric is
Yep.
high rolls.
Fish for it.
3.
You're
Level
so
3
right.
cleric.
It's time.
I
Hey,
was
we
trained.
have level 3 character sheets.
That's fair.
My mentor's telling me to fish for my bliss, so I'll stoke him for that. And and I'm going to at least try one more time. Let's see what we can get going here. Okay, 18 on the dice. That's 30.
Real hit.
Yes! I do.
And even grabbed by Trey, taking that swing with a 30 is kind of close, even flat-footed. As she's starting to snap around to dodge these things, almost moving like a marionette a bit as she just twitches and dodges around this.
Bad. Anyways.
No.
That's 11 damage. as
Okay, well, we had 11. She was at 22. Now she's at 33. What kind of damage?
That's bludgeoning.
Okay, because you whack it with a
Because
rock.
it's
fair
rock.
enough.
It's an imaginary
Okie
rock.
dokie. It's a shadow rock. You're just beating her.
The rock is in your head.
Is that you? Or you have one left?
For my last action, I'm just gonna kind of like tap onto Greenie and be like, "Hey, can you lick me real quick? This is kind of scary." Thanks. That's at this point.
MD.
Cool, Trey's in there. And he's going to step up and just one big strong swing. His sneak attack isn't so much sneak attack, it's just hitting harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just take the opportunity to get in there.
Almost on a 20. I'm at 8. You know what? I don't like 8s. I'm going to use Scott's.
That's a good call.
It's Scott. Scott from South Dakota.
Scott!
For an 18.
Ooh, good play.
It's a total of 2. My math has got all wacky. 31.
31 will hit.
Kids are flat-footed.
You guys are getting these big rolls, and we're hitting.
I'm gonna borrow
They are
the
landing. Oh,
You don't
the
have to
dungeon
crit.
speed run's got a hero point for Marius.
It turns out nobody needs to land a crit if everybody lands their hits.
you all hit-
6, 10,
Is it 11?
12,
Oh, he broke the trend.
14, 16. I rolled 3 2s.
That's not 11. Everyone else hitting for 11, man.
Messed
Come on.
up.
6, 10, 12, 14.
He thinks he's better than us.
Yeah.
16?
16.
16.
You know what? My first thought was to back out.
And what's this? This is the pick, so
Yeah, it's
piercing
just-
damage.
Pop.
And just thuds into her side.
Cool.
And I mean, it hits in, and I mean, you see blood spurt out. She is a body. She's not like a bloodless. Of course, she's nothing. She's not like these zombies you fought before. She is
gross.
bleeding from these strikes. She is clearly taking damage. She's bruising with a rock hitter.
It's grossly refreshing. My first thought was to step back, but you know what? We're going for a swing with the dagger too, with the knife. Rolled a 15 on the die. 26 minus 2, 24 against your flat-footed.
24 will not hit her flat-footed. As you go to swipe with that and just can't quite catch it. She takes a couple of these hits, and she's obviously Trey's got a hold on her here. And as she turns around to face you, the baldric starts to glow. And you've still got a hold of her. And she kind of grabs at your arm. You're back in exactly the same situation again, where you're wrestling with a ghost, but the other way around. And this time, she's not incorporeal. But as she puts a hand into
This
your...
time I'm the one grabbed.
Yeah, it's the other way around. As she puts a hand on your arm, another hand on your side, you feel her fingers bite and sink into you with a supernatural strength. It's going to be a 32 to hit.
Not a crit.
Regular hit. And as she grabs on, she throws her head forward and sinks her teeth into your shoulder.
This is just an attack, right?
Just an attack. It's going to be 20 points of slashing damage. And you are grabbed.
Are we now just both grabbed?
That is...
Or is that
It's an
her
automatic
reversing?
success to grab, so it's reversed now. So she is...
Wait, does that reverse it, or are we both now just grabbing each other?
Mutual grab.
It's if you
Because you
grab
can
someone who's
mutually
grabbing
grab.
you flip it. So you are now the grabbed. As she just... It's not a quickness thing. It's just raw strength. Turns around and overpowers you and bites into you. And as she does, you feel a numbness start to spread through you. The rest of you can see as she bites in way too much blood coming out of the wound in Trey's shoulder where she's biting.
You bleed a lot.
You're going to take an additional 17 points of damage. You are also drained 1. And as she feeds, you can see her bolstering herself. She is revitalizing through this, sucking the lifeblood out of Trey and back into herself. Marius.
Well, I don't like that. So
She's vampiring the hell out of him.
we'll give her a couple arrows.
No!
Please stop.
That
That's,
definitely misses.
that's my friend.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. 19 plus 11, so 30.
30 will hit.
Okay.
You should still be frightened 1.
Yes.
Yes.
For 10.
10 damage. Solid. Hey, but look at the bright side. You can just do damage to her. She just takes damage when she's
give her
hit.
some damage.
That's cool.
I like doing that.
She definitely did not heal for the amount of damage that was dealt to her.
So, we'll give
No.
her another. Give her
Not the early
Another
bit.
one.
And that's another 2.
You know what?
Consistency is
One
key.
more.
One more.
Your
That's-
multiple attack penalty
that's-
can't get any higher, so
Yeah.
just throw another one.
And that's another 18. I just keep rolling the same things. So 18 with 9. So 27, 26.
26 will miss. As
Is she
you-
flat-footed?
Not
No,
anymore.
anymore. Well, she is not to you. She is from gang up, but not the range attacks. It's just she's reversed the grapple on Trey's. You take this last shot. She just jerks to the side around this arrow and actually glances off Trey's breastplate here. Speaking of Trey,
Grappler again.
Reverse the grapple.
athletics check.
This is just a dance at this point.
It's just there's wrestling.
That's a 2.
Trey's mating ritual.
What's that total?
Doesn't do anything. It's a 16.
16 is a critical failure.
Yeah, I can't grab
So
it.
it means you cannot attempt to reverse it again.
Good news.
Even more grab.
Wasn't going to try.
Yeah.
'Cause I get 1 attempt basically. After that, it's not worth it to roll on a +9. Well, that failed. So you know what we're gonna do instead?
Stabber.
Wait, almost. Knocked it.
Fair enough.
Can't knock her down, yeah?
Yeah, you can knock her down while she's attached to you. That's like
Still-
she's still attached, but
Go
she's
down
also
together,
down.
yeah.
Like yeah.
Question actually. Combat grab.
Yes. What about it?
If I hit her, she is grabbed.
Yep. Then that would flip it.
And that would flip
That's
it.
the same thing she
and
just
that's
did,
not
basically.
me making a grapple check.
Correct. You
Because-
can't make a. If you were to hit with combat grab and use that extra action to. Do you have
No,
to roll
combat
for the
grab.
grab?
No,
Just
I
happens?
hit their grab for 1 turn.
Then it would flip it. Yes.
Combat grab.
Because that's
Combat
exactly
grab.
what she
It's
just
press.
did. Because she has grab on her attack, it just
Yeah.
automatically succeeds, so she flips it.
It's press, so I had to use it second.
Yeah, you can go for it.
15, 28
28.
to her flat-footed. Yep. So, third attack, because that hits, and then immediately off of that, third attack, dazing blow.
Okay.
She's grabbed. I just whack her with the shaft of the spear.
Grab reversed again. They're just
So-
grappling.
Dazing blow. Specifically, all damage from this is bludgeoning.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what your weapon is.
Yep. 'Cause
And
you just block it
she
over.
makes a fortitude save if I hit her.
Okie dokie.
That is going to be
We've got
a
a fat
miss.
if on the front of this. Because you're on a
Yeah.
-10. That's a big if.
Yeah, that's a miss. It's a 13, so 21 total. But I
Yeah.
do hit her once.
You did get one hit on her. You got the grab reversed.
So 4, 8, 11 damage.
Stack
I've joined the
11 club.
I feel so left out.
All right, Winter is going to do the same thing again. She's going to repeat this incant. She's going to try to shoot the beat. She got a natural 20. Winter, what?
Let's go!
You got nat 20! Bam!
Give her the card.
Winter's laser beaming!
Give Winter this bless.
She deserves it more than we do, honestly, at this point.
Keep it. It'll be beautiful later.
Thank you.
When you
But
pull out the gun.
Winter's rolled a 19 and a 20 on her 2 attack rolls.
That's an
better
insane-
average than
We are divine lancing our heart out
She
over here.
shouldn't. We shouldn't go find
I'm
that.
pretty sure this
symbol.
thing's undead.
The dagger's meant for her.
Pretty sure this thing's undead.
So crit is double. That means she's going to do 18 points of damage.
She's on the board, baby.
She's dealt more damage than me.
She's honestly kind of ripping. She's. Winter's the damn exorcist. All right, Cammy.
Kimmy kind of looks over her shoulder like, "Whoa, dude, what? You're holding out on us." Okay, I'm gonna try and hit her with the rock.
Rock.
Trying to channel whatever energy Winter's bringing to the table.
And she's flat-footed to this because I grabbed her.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So it's gonna be 25
25.
hit.
Not hit her flat-footed.
I'll stoke the heart.
Swing this rock down, and it just like it kind of connects, but she is strangely resilient. She's taken a lot of damage. Like it's enough that should probably kill somebody.
I'll swing the rock again. This time will not do better.
You're fishing for 20s. That's
M-
what matters.
Good night.
Screw the finesse. It's 2 picks coming down right after right. I'm just going to roll 2 dice.
Pickle.
Pickle.
You're just mining for 20s.
My regular die is going to be my first one as always. I should have said that first. But 24 versus her flat-footed, 23 versus flat-footed, and then 14 versus her
Rope again.
24 versus her flat-footed.
As he's just swinging, MB's just going for it.
And
Is
one last attack.
her and Trey are just like locked together, grappling here. As he's
We're just
beating her
reversing
with
each
the
other.
thing, and she's just trying to eat him. It's hard to swing into this. It's hard to get a good bead.
The dagger. That's a 15 on the die.
Imagine it was a 20. I guess it's still minus 8 with the agile. I was like, it might, but no, probably not.
It's -6 with the Frank one.
Oh yeah,
Or it's +6 with the Frank one.
she's still grappling. She's still perfectly happy to be here, and she is still her hands just ripping like lion's claws and trying to bite down on Trey.
Trying to grab me again.
She's attacking, which is kind of trying to grab comes with the part and parcel. It's going to be a 40 to hit.
Almost got me.
Barely got
Trey.
him.
So close.
He has a
You'll do
38 to
better
his
next
AC.
time, AJ.
And as you kind of giving up a little bit of your position here for this big dazing blow, she just pounces on you and rips in for 38 points of slashing damage. Am still up? Is it drained and everything? What a champ. I guess drained is only 6 points of damage right now.
To be fair, Lucha Libre back there did hit me for 58 damage.
That's
in a
true.
single hit.
Her single hits are not that hard. And she is going to
bite down again and just continue feeding. This seeming to be decently effectively keeping up with the amount of damage that you're all doing to her.
Marius, quick, get in here and bite her back.
That's a 17 again.
17 damage.
17 damage.
Exactly enough to take me down.
Your atrocity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with that, as she pounces back on him and feeds, you see Trey just crumple underneath the form of this much, much smaller woman who is fighting like a ferocious animal. I need a stress check from the 3.
Nat 20.
Solid.
18.
Solid.
4. Yeah.
Less solid.
Me going down doesn't concern me.
As,
It happens a lot.
I'm shuffling my healing cards. I need to.
He's tanking
Got
effectively,
distracted.
doing a lot of stuff. And as he falls, she stands back up and turns to MD. Now, any humanity left in her face completely gone, as her face is just streaked dark with Trey's blood. Her teeth pointed fangs, a mouth like a shark, as her hair just hangs limply around her. Marius.
So, as Trey goes down, she lets go of him, right? He's no longer grabbed.
Yeah, she's dropped on
Okay.
the floor.
I'm going to run over in front of her toward the kind of like the glowy portal thing.
Just the wall.
Yeah,
That's
the
just
wall.
which is pointing on the wall with the drawings.
And then I want to try to grab the pendant around her neck.
Okay. Make me a thievery check.
Okay. I'm going to re-roll that.
A fifth to a
Not really expecting that.
Okay, that's a nat 20.
Woo! Okay.
This is mine
That's
now.
yours. Nat
Okay.
20. She's turned around towards MD. You run up. She kind of looks your direction, and you just snatch it.
All right.
Like, it's just a pendant on a chain. Like, you don't have to get it over her head. You can just rip it off her neck. You can just break the little chain it's attached
it
to.
and just
You
So-
have it. It's in your hand.
Oh my
So now I would
gosh.
like to 300. This is Sparta. Try to kick her into the well.
Athletics check.
Athletics, dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is not a critical failure. But you go to push her back, and she's stunned for a moment. You raise your leg and push, and she just grabs it, pushes back against the side of the well, and just shoves you back into the wall. And you see this insane strength that she has. Can Winter do it again? No. Cammy.
Okay.
That was a 2.
Winner had to roll her stress check.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that Trey is just on the edge of 30 feet.
That is 30 feet, yes.
Yep.
That's exactly 30.
Excellent news!
That's the range that I
Good
have.
looks, everybody.
Oh my goodness. So, immediately, as soon as Trey goes down, just instinctively bringing her other hand up,
You've
popping
seen this
a.
plenty of times.
Yeah, it's just like, I know what to do. That's a level 2 heal for you with the 2 actions.
Oh,
so
my
that's going to
bones.
be.
2d8 plus 16.
2d8 plus 16.
That was what Winter did when you let her out of the cell.
Yes. Okay. 11 plus 16, so. You do it.
27.
Yes, I said it too.
You just didn't have confidence in
I
yourself.
just didn't have the confidence. And then, kind of looking over at Winter. What did you do? Because I'm having a way harder time with this. I'm trying to hit with the rock. No.
Locke, if anything.
I don't understand why.
What is she? I don't think her undead.
I can't even see her anymore. You just see the rock kind of like in the air, almost like shrugging, like. That's my turn.
MD.
All right. MD at this point is just the same old, same old. It's not like Trey. Trey's smart when he fights. Pick 27 versus her flat-footed. Gang up.
We'll hit her flat-footed. Marius is there. You got gang up.
I'm awake.
And Trey's awake.
Oh, Trey's
He's
awake.
grabbing her
You-
ankles.
You needed the gang up, but you're in there.
I rolled 3 ones. 1, 2, 3, 7, 13.
3 runs getting 13 is pretty all right, actually.
And then we're going to slash with the dagger for a 13 on the die. It's a total of 24 versus her flat-footed.
24 is not going to hit you.
I'm going to take a step back.
Oh, please no.
Hey, ugly, this way.
Trey, you are awake. You are on the ground. There is a lot of blood on the floor, and it's almost entirely yours.
Cammy
I
waves from the
bleeding?
back. Doing great.
Am I bleeding? Or is it just...
No, it's just she's been savaging you for 2 rounds.
I'm going to stand up.
Fair enough. I hear no bell.
And I'm going to grab her.
My
Back
man's
at
got
it
one
again.
goal in his life.
My goal is to make it easier for everybody else in this fight. So 23.
23 is gonna fail. She like almost, her head almost like possessed, twitches around as you stand up.
So I go to grab her
It-
and then lunge, strike, combat grab.
Fair enough.
I will keep you here until you're dead.
That's me considering using this for a reroll.
He's thinking. He's thinking.
As good as this is, I think it's worth using here. And that is from Maverick.
Oh,
Thank you, Maverick.
And I will reroll that 8.
I hear the coin noise. MD, the dungeon speed run's got a hero point. I'm so used to seeing everything right here, but I have to pull stat blocks off of my phone today. It's throwing me off so hard. Make way.
Not 20.
Oh, nat 20 will do it.
So, she's now grabbed, and she's also now clumsy 1, and she's also gonna take a lot of damage.
What I do is I have the clumsy 1 card right here. What kind of damage? Your spear's still piercing, right?
It's piercing. Yes.
Okay, I was like, I don't know if raising made it weird.
No, raising just means I do 4 extra damage to objects.
Yeah, well, because it's like a scrapey spear. I was like, maybe it's slashy, scrapey. I don't know. That's a big hit, though.
5, 7, 11, 22 damage.
Ooh, that's a pretty big hit.
I would 11.
11, but twice. And she's grabbed, and you are out of actions.
3 actions, yes.
Well, I wonder what she's going to do. Is it turn around and eat Trey? Maybe it's turn around and eat Trey, who is admittedly kind of doing his job. But she's
I'm
going to...
tanking.
There's some clear chemistry between these two.
You grab a hold of her as she goes towards MD, and MD steps back, and her head just like whips around towards you as you hit her, and she jumps right back
Yeah.
in.
It's
She
like an
is
all-you-can-eat buffet.
feral. She is feral. 37.
Just a hit. What do you think? It's a crit. Yes.
The look you gave him was pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
Only 30 points of damage.
Mortalis coin will shatter when she bites me, and I'll go down to dying 2
All right.
instead of dying 3.
That's fair, because you are wounded 1. Not going to be bad times. She bites. She turns around, and she doesn't even bite you. She doesn't get to the biting. She just sinks her claws in and feels you start to go limp. That energy surge into the coin, and she just rips and casts you back. And then she turns around and looks out towards, I'm going to call it the peanut gallery. That is
Yeah.
Cammy
Oh, that's us.
and Winter in the background. Somnus! And casts a spell back your direction.
Of course, you wait till I'm down to cast the spells.
I need a will save from the two. She got 2 actions. So I need a will save from you, and
Will
Winter
I
super critically failed.
Will I be taking damage?
Nope.
Okay then. A will save. That's gonna be so 26.
You hear this word, then everything just kind of goes dark. Winter and Cammy, both, you see both of them just kind of stop. Their eyes closed and they just slap. So they don't fall all the way down to the ground. But Winter, like, leans up into the wall, and Cammy just kind of, like, head rolls back. Arms just kind of dangling at her little side.
Narcolepsy.
Bit of drool.
Oh, they're making me look like a
She
fool.
cast narcolepsy.
Oh no! I have double narcolepsy now.
He already has that.
Darn it!
Marius.
What does that mean?
I would like
They
to.
can
She's still clumsy because you crit her again.
I'm gonna go for another kick.
That's excellent.
No,
Come
that's
on.
just a dirty 20 again. Oh.
30, 20, still not going to do it. You're trying to push, she just bats your boot away. as badly as she's bleeding and bruised from all these strikes, she doesn't seem to be slowing down. It's
I did crit her twice.
yeah, it
She
feels
doesn't
almost
look
impossible
fantastic.
to tell like how injured she really is. She's not stopping. His damage doesn't seem to be affecting her, even though her body is getting ripped apart.
I'm going to, I guess, run away to the north a little bit just to get some distance,
Smart. Fair enough. I'll put you up over here.
and then I'll give her a shot or two.
Give her a little pew-pew arrows.
The kick counts as an attack, yes?
Yes.
Okay,
So you are
it's,
your first multiple attack.
16 plus 12, so 28.
Hits.
Not flat-footed.
She's clumsy though.
Okay, and then the second one, probably not a 14 plus 10, 24.
No, but one hit.
That's
hit.
damage on the
Yeah,
board.
the cool thing about monsters that take damage when you hit them is they take damage when you hit them.
That's 9.
Solid. Winter. And you are unconscious. MD,
Unconscious.
you are sleeping.
Um,
Now make me a perception check.
While I'm sleeping.
Yes.
Interesting.
You're normal sleeping. Winter
It is like regular.
Winter's in a coma.
Winter is out.
a perception check.
Yeah, you.
Okay. That's gonna be a 30.
At 30, you pass out for a second. You have a little narcoleptic episode. It kind of takes you your turn, but it is regular sleep because you do regular.
Okay.
fill. So you do still kind of almost immediately wake up from the sound of Marius trying to kick at her and running around and arrows flying around. And you look over and you see Winter just against the wall.
I had
She's
an
out.
episode.
MD.
I see the spell go off, and I turn around and look at Cammy, see her pass off for a second. Panic. Wakes up. Panic ceases. Take a step forward. Hey, ugly. One more time. Twin thing. This time, because she's not flat-footed.
She's not flat-footed. You got no friends.
Cammy, I hope you can help Trey.
What?
Help Trey.
You lazy Trey, bleeding out the floor again.
I am also sleeping.
You're advanced unconscious.
Pick. Natural 20.
Oh, the crits
All right.
in this fight, baby!
You don't get sneak, but you do get pick.
I do get pick,
And you get that.
You
And
get pick and you get a bless,
so
sir.
pick
Ooh.
is 2 additional damage per damage die, per weapon die. That's pick crit.
It's not fatal.
No,
It's its
it's
own
fatal
thing.
too. The pick critical specialization is 2 extra damage per die too.
Crit spec.
They added a
And-
pick critical specialization?
It's always
Picks
been there.
are there to kill you on crits.
Fair enough.
That
All
is
right.
So
they
and
do.
it's 3 damage dice.
Yep.
You get 3 damage dice. It's a
and it's
fatal
piercing
damage.
Well, the
Skewers.
fatal one still doesn't multiply just like deadly. The extra one doesn't double.
Correct.
But the two,
The extra one doesn't.
the extra,
double?
it's like
'Cause
deadly. The extra
It's
one's like
deadly
deadly, but the
bonus.
other two transform. So they upgrade, they double, and then you get one extra like deadly.
Okay.
I didn't
And
know
the
that
triple
your dice
damage.
could upgrade or
And the target's
transform.
slowed for 1 round.
Triple
Skewered.
damage slowed.
She's what for one round?
Skewer, she's triple damaged, and she's slowed for 1 round.
Whoa.
So we'll do that. So that's easy. 9 plus 1 plus 4.
No, Easy's not here.
9 plus 1 plus 4. 10 plus 4 more, so 18
Okay.
times 3.
Hold on.
18 times
54.
Plus another 7.
61.
61.
Bonk.
61 damage crits. You.
That's what picks do.
Yeah, describe this to me.
As oh gosh, look around, see that Cammy wakes up, panic is ceased, MD is pissed.
She pointed at Cammy.
Takes
Fatal
a-
mistake.
Takes a step forward, says, "Hey, ugly, look at me." And before he even finishes the sentence, the pick just comes straight through and gets her like right back here, right where the spine meets the neck, or the neck meets the shoulder blade, and it just drags her down.
The force of this blow, as the pick hits in her shoulder, or like right up in this joint, she does crumple, and the pick kind of rips down her body. Like, this is macabre, but catching into like the bone of her pelvis as it gets down. And you hit with so much force, you literally rip her in half. She splits at the waist.
as her upper body shoots back up into the air, wings unfurling behind her, now attached to her arm. She looks like she is literally a flying torso with these huge bat wings coming out from behind her shoulders.
Oh, good.
Well, good news is that was the first part of Twin Pain. Second part, she's flat-footed against. As she still is kind of held by the pick.
She doesn't
Her
have
feet are
to
flat
be
on the ground.
And I'm going to use this hero point from Dungeon Speedrun to reroll that.
The lower half of her body, her hips and legs, are just crumpled on the ground.
Those, she don't need those no more.
Just
She has wings.
spewing blood.
So yeah, I use that hero point as I go to swing with the knife, kind of jolt a little bit, and then refocus myself. 9 on the die.
Try to refocus,
But
but that's pretty unsettling, and it does require a stress check from everyone.
Not Trey.
Don't you?
Not
Yeah,
Trey,
I'm
because Trey's
unconscious.
sleeping.
I rolled a
I'm just
natural
taking a
1.
nap.
Good thing they're past
I got
fail.
a 7.
Yeah, 7.
Ooh, not a great moment for everyone. That one's pretty spooky.
Trey's gonna wake up and go, what?
Trey
I need the
is
big
gonna
boy.
get the big
No.
boy because
Just throw it. I want it.
He's dying too. Thanks to Mortalis coin, this roll can't kill you.
That's why the Mortalis coin's the
Mortalis
Real
coin,
good.
Biss, absolute Biss. This roll cannot kill you because of the Mortalis coin.
boy. That's a 5, so failed, dying 3.
Dying 3.
But
Next one can.
Couldn't have died. That's a safe roll.
Next one can, though.
I'm just gonna hold on to this.
Yeah, just keep it for now. Now, flapping up in the air here as Trey is still bleeding out this creature, whatever she's been transformed into, revealing its true and full form. And she is just fluttering right above MD, now doing much the same as what was happening to Trey, just harrying you with tooth and claw. And she has the advantage of an aerial attack now, which makes it relatively difficult to fend her off, I would say. Also, hero point for Trey.
Hey.
From 2. You got 2 different ones and 2 different people that came at the same time. One from Magus Plains and one from Darmas. And time to wake up Harry Hobgoblin. Second one just says Trey. Trey. Trey.
That's all that you need to say.
All right.
It's back home.
And Rampage.
It's not a big deck.
No one is safe. So for everybody at home, Reckless Charge is just a reroll. And
Someday, Reckless Charge is
there
going
is
to come
no
up.
ever.
I know it's bad, but someday.
Can I just read it out loud so everyone knows what it does?
It's not good.
It's not good. Can I read it?
We got to keep the mystery, though.
They don't know it's not.
They don't know how bad it is. Let them live
But
the
when it
dream. It'll
comes
come
up-
up
And
someday.
Rampage, no one is safe.
No one is safe.
Flapping up in the air, she lunges down at you, just going straight, trying to bite into you here, going directly for the maunch
Who was the second person?
on MD. Darmasan and Magus Plains. 28 to hit.
You hit.
Hitting successful.
Still a little reeled by this. My dice are in this right.
21
21. That
points of
hurts.
piercing damage.
I got this cool little thingy.
And then as she gets a little bite, she is going to slash at you with one of her claws. These wings are not attached to her arm. They are affixed almost to where her waist would have been. They are separate appendages that are flapping, suspending this torso in the air. She just slashes and claws and bites. She's just going crazy. 21.
21
Claw attack.
actually doesn't hit. As the bite comes down, MD is able to kind of fend off the claw. Just slaps it.
And she's got one
She
more
slowed
claw
one.
for 26.
She slowed one.
Oh, she's got one more claw. She's slow one from your blast. That's all she's
Nice.
got, Marius.
All right. Well, he's in the air now, so some
a
arrows.
little bit,
We'll
yeah.
change it up a little
You're
bit.
good
and
at
give her some
hunting
more
birds.
arrows. Yeah. So
More like a
one.
bat, but
That's
yeah.
a nat 20.
Oh,
Good at hunting
20.
birds.
You don't have a blast, do you?
No.
Doesn't.
That's 35.
Oh, the 20s this fight.
16 for 28.
Plink, plink.
I'm
That
assuming
hits
that's
two.
Okay.
2 hits.
So the first one is 10 plus 1. So 11. Deadly
Of course it
D10.
So that's 22.
22 plus a
10.
D10.
Yep.
Yeah. For 9.
31! 31 damage arrow!
I get to see the other
No,
one.
one more. I mean, yeah.
You does
That's
so much
8,
damage to her.
9.
Oh my god.
And she's healed for so much.
9 damage per second.
Good shot.
So 40 total. That's a pretty good turn.
Exactly.
Come
40
on.
total.
That's
That's
And
first
that's just
action.
action.
That was one action.
Just keep sending them.
40 damage.
Cammy's
More.
awake. That's all
Oh
I know.
my gosh.
That's definitely the 15.
We have to like get like a 28 to hit her, but
Another nat 20.
Are you
Blink.
serious?
29.
100%, yeah.
Blink. Oh,
This
fun
guy
fact,
loves them.
She's pinned to the ground as well.
She's flying. She doesn't be pinned too.
She has massive.
I don't think it's gonna matter. He crit again.
Yeah, so that's another 10, 11,
22.
22, and then 7.
28.
So
28, yeah. No,
22 plus
Yeah.
7.
29.
Marius, what happens?
He's too good.
You just did like 70 damage. Like, it's-
Oh my god.
If you
Pure-
just roll 20s.
Just out of
Pierce
pure
crew.
like frustration and anger and just being really tired, I'm
That's
just
my bitch.
unleash all these arrows directly into her. Just like just straight into her chest. Trying to knock her out of the air.
It's like imagine
Yeah,
I sort of
she's-
had the pick in her.
Had enough with other undead people.
As she's just biting and slashing and clawing, fully focused on MD. The first arrow hits her right in the side of the head, and she like skews a bit, listening to the side, turns her head to Marius, and the second arrow goes right in, and she just drops down to the ground on her back. Twitching for a moment, and her head kind of just rolling aimlessly across the ground, but her wings immobile as she just lays there for a moment.
Gone from plowing fields to pushing daisies.
Y'all did it.
I didn't mean it when I called you ugly. You're a very beautiful woman. Hey, Cammy, Trey needs you.
Oh, yeah, excuse me.
Good
As
night.
she just puts her head back
Sweet dreams.
and stops moving.
Oh, now she's sleeping too.
She's also advanced sleeping. Cammy rushes into Trey. He's tying 3. You had a turn. You had a round. You definitely have time to get in there and save him. Right before he has to make the roll that might kill him. Which,
No.
for fun,
Would I have died? That's a 19. So,
Rest in peace.
and then on the
Wouldn't
next.
you-
well, but
Too
I mean,
worried.
this is a different timeline than the timeline
It's
where you're
true.
rolling that when it has to happen. That's not-
the Monty Hall.
Then I would have gone
again?
back
No.
to dying again.
But with her down,
Then I would have been fine.
Winter very unconscious.
Hey, someone wake up.
Oh, shoot. I
I
forgot.
imagine
Then I'd be fine.
you're gonna very rapidly
Evacuate.
want to get the hell out of
Yeah.
Fort Halicourse.
I rolled 13 3 times in a row.
We
so
don't
I would have been fine.
know what's happening in here.
Hey,
But if
fine.
people at Iris Hill know something is wrong, it's time to go. And so you do. Group you, Winter in tow, Easy emerging from his memory hole alongside
Oh,
you,
there you were, Easy.
rushing out from the fort. Yet another of the cult's strange machinations dealt with. Its purpose? Unknown. Like so much about what Melisyn is doing up at Iris Hill. We don't know why or what. All we know is that that thing was apparently the minion spawn that rises after Rumatri kills somebody. That's the weak peon version of whatever Rumatri is.
Well, to be fair, we fought that after fighting an entire fortress. If the spellcasters have all their resources, it might be a little bit less of a threat.
What else might help you is being level 7. And after the incredible amounts of combat you have dove into in the last couple of sessions,
So we're level 8 now, right?
never has there been a more deserved level.
Level 7.
I got Battle Cry.
Level 7.
Oh,
Fourth
yeah.
level
Let's
spells
just go ahead and
coming out.
level
The 2 that
7.
refuse to print new character sheets, going to continue to be confused about things.
I'm never confused.
I am doing good. Just fine.
She's slightly confused.
Only a little bit more stressed when we started.
I look fine.
All right.
Wait until Trey hears this story, man. When we killed her, she split in half, wings spread out, like it
Turned into a
was
bat for like
insane.
6 seconds,
Marius
and then
got, like,
Marius just
4
went
headshots in the
Super
span of 3
Oh my
Saiyan.
gosh.
With the drained and everything, you got me to exactly 17 and then did 17 damage.
Oof. I mean, it was also still. I mean, well, that was actually. It still worked out because she wouldn't have gotten to cast a spell if she had to spend 2 more actions. Because she still would have just went. And then she would have healed too. But that's it for today's adventures. Thrushmore has fallen. Accuser Amari, who brought Winter here, gone. The mayor of the town, dead. City guard, reanimated his corpses and slain a second time. All that's left of whatever there might be of Thrushmore's leadership is at Iris Hill. There's really nowhere else to go.
But up.
Good luck,
Up the hill.
everybody. When we return, it's time to face down the cult. We gotta deal with them at some point. Now, normally this would be the point where I tell you that tomorrow we're gonna have an episode of Abomination Vaults, but we're not. We've had some unfortunate, somewhat last-minute scheduling issues, so we will not be having an episode of Abomination Vaults tomorrow. And similarly, next week we're not gonna have an episode of Strange Aeons either.
We're gonna have
We'll
Christmas.
put something
Crimbith.
in there probably. We'll let you guys know, keep you updated. Follow us at UGT Show on Twitter or X or whatever, or join our Discord, and then you can see the announcements about the things that we are getting up to, because we'll probably have some content for you.
Chair's insanely squeaky.
It's so squeaky. But we're going to have I'm at the moment not 100% sure, 1 or 2 week break from Strange Aeons, depending on how schedules kind of align. It's the end of December. It's the holiday season. It's the way that it do. Thank you guys for all the support today. Even sorry I had to have a stat block where my thing usually is, because as the readapting to 2nd edition problem is, sometimes the stat blocks are not in the book, and also I don't have the cards for them because both those monsters were from some random adventure, but boy howdy, they were super cool.
Welcome
and
to
I wanted
Strange
to run them.
Aeons, where the stat blocks are made up and the health points don't even matter.
The hell we got there, thanks to Arcadis, who had to keep reaching over and pointing at them, which was very helpful, because then I saw them, I was engrossed. Just a reminder, we've got 2 options now, Patreon and Coffee. Either side, $5 gets you access to all of our bonus content, like the post show that we're going to be doing here almost immediately after we end the stream. You'll have access to that and all the insane shenanigans that we get up to after each episode of Strange Aeons, Abomination Balls, whatever else comes in the future, and you help keep the show going. The support's allowing us to keep running these things, keep getting these upgrades, and hopefully in the very near future, we should have some pretty big, cool upgrades for the stream, I hope, if everything works how it's supposed to. I'm in uncharted technological territory here, so it's an experiment.
Isn't that your entire career? In
Yes!
this? Like every step, like I've heard, has been uncharted technological.
And if you want some cool dice, a bit of a discount, use our code UGT Show at Norse Foundry. If you want some custom minis, use literally the same code at Eldritch Foundry. If you want the virtual tabletop we use, it's a virtual tabletop secondarily, primarily just a really, really good full-bodied map creator that you can use for any of your games, online or otherwise. Arkenforge, same code. Using those gets you some discounts on stuff and also helps directly support the show. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for being here. Enjoy your weekends. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.